Alright, chat, how we doing? How we doing today? Knoxville happened! Yeah. I'm mostly just doing this out of, like, kind of a, I guess, like, a formality, right? Yeah, I wanna watch this, watch these games, and I need an excuse to do so, so I'm gonna do it on stream. It's a good VOD review for me. It's a good VOD review for others, right? Hearing different people's insights into games is important. So, yeah, I think this is good content to put out there. So I'm kind of just doing it instead of playing live. Mooncake, how we doing? Yeah, so I'm gonna watch some stream today. We're gonna go for about 4 hours, typical stream time on my channel, about until 5 p.m. European Central, and then we'll do whatever we missed tomorrow, right? So, yeah, probably cover all of day 1 today, and then all of day 2 tomorrow, but if we have extra time today, we might cover some of day 2, or if games go long in day 1, then we'll just do more tomorrow, right? So, we'll figure it out, but throughout the next 2 days, we're going to be VOD reviewing, yeah, Knoxville day 1 and day 2. It also just lets me, like, hide my play for Dortmund for a little longer, because it's the only thing I want to play right now, and if I show everyone what I'm playing, then everyone knows what I'm playing, right? So, that aside, yeah, I'm just going to jump into it, right? I'm not really going to bother waiting for people to join too much, since this VOD will be available soon as well, so, yeah, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to make sure we have speed up here, and then I'm also going to turn off the music. Mute that, English to my voice. I know, I'm sorry, it's not always the best, but you're just gonna have to listen to my dumbass. And yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. So I think we'll see here. We're looking at Paradox Kyogre on the left with Nathan, and Pram on Lost Tina. So pretty interesting matchup in this format for sure, especially considering the fact that Kyogre actually saw a massive resurgence this weekend, which I called would happen eventually, but I'm kind of surprised it took this long for people to pair it, like to kind of pick up Kyogre again. But yeah, I think Kyogre's really good right now. Nathan clearly agrees. Pram, maybe not so much. I have no idea. Anyway, we're gonna see Nathan get into his turn here. Looks pretty basic. I think it's a rod and a escape rope. We're gonna value the rod. It's probably the safer play here. Obviously not like the best flower selecting to see on turn 1, but you know, gate, and yeah, we don't have Colorless, so yeah. No Colorless, you have to get the gear. Were there any Golden Goes on stream? I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I don't recall seeing any. I kind of had the stream going in the background for most of the weekend. It's like I know like what happened in a lot of games. I know a couple of games in day 1 were actually like really fast, so we might actually make it to some day 2 games today. But Pram is going to whiff the Pokegear and then do the Tina Classic of bricking. Not even an Abyss Seeking. That's crazy. Double Dark off the selecting for Nathan. Great, but certainly could be worse. You should be playing, I think, 3 to 4 Dark Energies, typically. Yeah, VIP, easy loss zone. Now we're playing the gear, maximizing our odds. Can Nathan find Colress? Nope. Okay, I guess Pokegear is a dead card in this set. Sick invite. So I'm assuming we're just going to see a spit from Nathan here. Hope Pram bricks another turn and just win the game. That's probably the line. And even if he doesn't, it's still just, you know, good to spit. So, yeah, we're chilling with this hand. There's a Moon. Pram's going to top deck. I think that's a Boss's Orders. There's a Spiritomb on the bench. Although I think as Pram... Yeah, okay, I would say as Pram, like, if this Tina dies, I think you just scoop. And Pram agrees, so... Yeah, okay. That was quick. I know this set did go to time, though, so I'm assuming we're going to have, like... actual games. All right, let's see what we got here. Double Colors in the prizes for Nathan's pretty bad. Everything else is manageable. I mean, Rod is not like great to have in the prize cards, but you're kind of assuming you're going to prize at least 1 recovery card, so it's not, you know, it's not like Nathan isn't ready to play around that. Bird's at the bottom, so it's not an issue. Ropes at the bottom is kind of good. The Choruses are in an awkward spot where like you're going to hit them at the time in the game where Chorus doesn't have as much relevancy. Which is yeah, which is certainly interesting. All right. yeah, let's see how this plays out. This game should be a fair bit longer, I would assume. All right, we're gonna see Nathan go for a quick prize check. We can just skip over that. We already know what's prized. He's gonna do some energy counting, Pokemon counting, just the Lost Box special, right? See what he has here. It's gonna be a Comfy Greninja. That seems pretty good. No out to cram in hand, so I think that's probably the debate here. Although there's a lot of switching cards as well. I think we're gonna count those. Gonna notice the escape rope in the prize cards. Not sure if you check this Colorlesses. It's typically not a super common check. You can typically tell if, like, 1, you don't care, 2, it's like weird, 3, you're gonna notice by looking for your deck, regardless of if you look for the Colorlesses or not. So yeah. Anyway, it's gonna be a Mawile and a Recycler. Not anything too important. Heavy Ball going away. That's smart. You don't really need the Pidgeot. This is why you prize check, right? Obviously, if Nathan hadn't prize checked, he wouldn't know. He wouldn't know that he could get rid of the Heavy Ball, right? So, good heads up play. I'm gonna get rid of the Rod. That's interesting, but I guess we don't have out to cram next turn. So getting the Nest Ball could prove to be quite important. And we're just gonna pass it over to Pram. So let's see if Pram gets to play Pokemon. Yep, Pram does get to play Pokemon. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Pram's also going to prize check. I'm just going to skip over that. It's going to be a VIP and a Nest Ball being played from Pram here. Again, standard board, pretty much the exact same board that Nathan's sitting on here. Definitely the debate to be had here on whether or not you want to grab a Manaphy. Because obviously, Nathan will be enraged with that Greninja next turn if he is able to do a bunch of stuff. But Pram is going to play the VIP pass. Of course, Tina doesn't play Manaphy anymore, so I don't actually know what the hell I'm talking about. People play Mawile in Lost Box just to solve the game. So Mawile is an inclusion in Lost Box that has been popularized, I think, primarily by Brennan in Liverpool. But basically, what it lets you do is it forces... Actually, I'm going to pause because it's interesting. Basically what Mawile forces from your opponent is that your opponent can no longer bench Manaphy, Jirachi, Radiant Greninja, because basically what happens is that if they bench Jirachi, right, against Lost Box, which makes sense, right, you want to bench Jirachi against Lost Box to prevent Sableye, you are now able to go Catcher, Boss, whatever, up the Jirachi, and hit it with the Mawile. If they use a switch, right, you just do it again. Decks like Zard and Guardy, which are the main ones, don't play a lot of switching cards. Zard plays a maximum of 1. Guardy plays maybe Turo. Turo's kind of in and out, right? But again, maximum of 1. So you do it once, they use their 1 switch card. You do it again, they lose the game, right? So a skilled Gardevoir or Zard player will realize, hey, I lose if I bench Manaphy, Jirachi, or Greninja, right? So, they can't do that, which means the Lost Box player now gets to use Greninja. They get to use Sableye. They get to use Kyogre, right? Hence, Mawile in particular has seen a spike in popularity in combination with Kyogre and with Pidgeot. Pidgeot, of course, preventing you from decking out, meaning that if you are able to lock your opponent with the Mawile, you just win the game on the spot. So, yeah, that's the idea behind the Mawile. It's actually really smart. It's really interesting. It's a really, really cool tech. You kind of force stuff from your opponent. It's actually, for once, this is the only argument to be made for playing Drapion in Sablezard as well. Because basically you can't play the Pidgeot if you play the Spiritomb, and you have to have a Mew tech, right? So if you want to play Mawile plus Pidgeot package, to your Zard matchup's already free as hell, but to force a better Gardevoir matchup, which frankly I don't think is necessary, but with Gardevoir going up in popularity, maybe it's not that bad. You need another Mew tech that isn't Spiritomb, hence why Drapion is a thing, right? So, yeah, if you're playing the Drapion without the Pidgeot package, it's still just bad, in my opinion. Yeah, I still think I would rather play the Spiritomb, right, and not the Pidgeot package, and no Mawile and Sablezard, but there is an actual argument to be made for once to actually play the Drapion plus the package, right? So, and yes, I would recommend Sablezard for Dortmund. I think it's an amazing play for Dortmund. I think I've come to the conclusion that I don't want to play Sablezard for Dortmund personally, but that's not because I don't think Sablezard is good. It's just because I need a break from Sablezard, right? That's the only reason why. Frankly, I think Sablezard's an amazing play for Dortmund. Um, yeah, I think. I mean, I could still pick it up. Frankly, it's not too late for me to go fuck it with ball and lock Sablezard. But yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Let's go back into the game. Prem is going to use the funny Colorless card. I heard that card is pretty good. I think we're getting rid of another TW star. Okay. I feel like you need at least one of those just as an option for Pram. But I mean, he does have one left, so it's not the end of the world here. It's gonna be a jet into the Comfy of flower selecting. What are we looking at? Getting rid of a switch cart, keeping a vacuum. Ooh. Now that's interesting. What's the vacuum for? And also the fact that Pram is playing vacuum in the first place is quite interesting. I guess we're prioritizing vacuum here, kind of in an attempt to play around potential techs on Nathan's end, right? Pram doesn't know what what Nathan might be playing. There could be stuff like Bravery Charms in the deck that we don't know about. It also will let Pram turbo to 10 next turn if needed, because he'll go to 6 with the vacuum, he'll go double Comfy to 8, and then he'll go Colorless to 10. Yeah, so actually that's a super cool play. That Pram has now given himself access to that Nathan frankly has no way to know anything about unless he already knows Pram 60. So really, really interesting the fact that the vacuum's even played in the first place. It's gonna be a switch getting rid of for Nathan. Okay, Colorless off the top from the Pokegear. Yeah, just gonna grab it right away. No need to think about that one. And yeah, we're going to see a Colorless here. I'm just gonna put Nathan to 6 in the Lost Zone. We're gonna need one more if we're trying for this Greninja play. I'm not really convinced you need to Greninja this turn, but it certainly wouldn't hurt. What are we debating here? I think Psychic Pokegear is what we're considering getting rid of here, which makes sense because you want Comfy and you want Iron Hand and you want a way to use the Comfy this turn. So yeah, this seems good. Are we hitting with Iron Hands this turn? I don't see it. No, there is a basic water. Okay, so we're definitely going to be using Greninja this turn, surely. Just gonna, yeah, ditch them all well. Seems legit. We do still have Greninja available, and we still do have Energy Recovery to just make sure that we have the options in deck for the gate. But I think Nathan's just going to count it out and realize, okay, I can just gate now. And yeah, sure enough, there is a bunch of darks. There's the water. I think the grab here is going to be, yeah, 3 darks in the deck, so we're definitely just going to grab Dark Water to the Greninja. We have the water in hand, and I believe there is another switching card. At least there should be, right? Yeah, there's the switch card, energy. We have not seen concealed cards yet, so I'm assuming we're going to see that here in a bit, unless Nathan just doesn't want to use concealed cards. Or he has used concealed cards and just hasn't tapped the Greninja. But that seems weird to me when he's tapping all his Comfies. We're going to Palpad back a singular Colress. Okay, I'm not sure I agree with that. Reason being, I feel like we always hold the Palpad until Pram goes into Roxanne turns, right? Like, surely that's always better. I can't really imagine it not being. Like, you surely don't need the Colress that bad next turn, right? I think you're trying to dig for Colress next turn, then you're able to Palpad back 2 Colress in time for the Roxanne play. Also, I just realized that Path has been in play this entire turn, so obviously Nathan cannot use Greninja. So, yeah, good thing he did not undo that. I was not paying attention. Okay, we're going to see a Flower Selecting, getting rid of a Rod for Pram. Sure, looks like we're about to go for the Vacuum. Yep, getting rid of the VIP and the Path. This is going to put Pram at 7. Then we're going to Nest Ball, which we, of course, just grabbed off of the Flower Selecting. And, yeah, Pram is going to do some counting here. So we might not quite be racing to 10. I don't really see a lot of ways to do that in this hand. There is a Pokegear, which is probably going to be played for a Colress, because, frankly, there's nothing else you really want to play here. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm assuming is going to happen. I think the Mirage Gate is mainly to thin, as long as we have an access to Sableye. I mean, maybe Sableye isn't just like the greatest thing here. Oh, but it does seem like Prem is also playing an Iono. Okay. We haven't seen Iono in the deck for quite a while. That's kind of interesting. So I guess in that case, Nathan, using the Palpad isn't that bad, although I don't really know why, as Nathan, you're ever expecting to get Iono'd here, right? I think the only time you can really ever expect to get Iono versus Tina is if your opponent is playing a very outdated list. But that'd be obviously very out of character for Pram to do. Granted, what isn't out of character is for Pram's list to be a little unique. So of course we have the Vacuum and the Rock and the Iono kind of probably there to just catch people off guard, which just makes sense. But we're gonna see the Colorless and the concealed cards. Okay. Yeah, I think Pram's just gonna go for like a very basic line here, try to hit the Greninja. You're already behind as Pram here. This is always like it's already like a really really bad spot. Because if the game keeps going this way, you're going to lose to Kyogre. Hell, you could lose to just Roaring Moon and Iron Hands. It's not impossible, but realistically, it's going to be the Kyogre. Yes, it's going to be a shred. It's not looking great, admittedly, for Pram. Nathan has a couple options here. We're going to see the Colress off the top. Oh, wait, I just realized. I was giving Nathan shit for the Palpad, but obviously he probably double Colress. I forgot about that. In which case, yeah, the Palpad is absolutely correct because you don't know when you're seeing those Colresses. Yeah, so, well, actually, no, because you're 6 prize cards, you're about to take 2 prize cards. I think it's a fair bet to think you're going to hit a Colress. So in that case, then the Palpad's actually bad, but we got rewarded for making the worst play because we did not hit Colress. Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. All right, so Colress being played here. That's triple gate, Nest Ball, and Roaring Moon. So one of those gates is going down. It's probably a Nest Ball gate here. Yeah, don't know what else it would really be. I mean, you could get rid of 2 gate, but like there's just no way. Unless we're also getting rid of the Moon, but yeah, I don't think there's a reason to do that. You have 2 gates for the rest of the game, but that's all you need is Nathan. Obviously, having more is good, but you know, still. All right, we're at 10 now. So going into Sableye turns. Oh, this is interesting. Are we about to have to gate to our Sableye? Because that'd be quite bad. Now being down a gate, of course. One in discard, one in lost zone. Oh, that's so scuffed. So I guess for Nathan, the plan here is we're going Sableye for a couple turns. Hopefully we won't have to, gate to the damn thing next turn. And then we win the game with Kyogre. I think that has to be the line for Nathan here. I mean, I don't know that I would have gone for that. But I guess there's not really much else you can do as Nathan here. And if you do take a prize on this Comfy and put some damage on these Tinas, you should always be in a position where you can guarantee the Kyogre to work. However, by taking a knockout here, you're also making yourself incredibly vulnerable to Roxanne. So yeah, that is why Nathan seems to go 6-6. Makes sense. Get another turn um, before the Roxanne comes. You can also just stay at 4 for the rest of the game, as long as you have a way to force a 1 prize into the active, because for Kyogre to work, you're going to have you're going to have both of the Tinas on the bench. Of course, we know that one of those Tinas is not evolving, but I believe last turn, Pram had not used the V-Star, so you kind of have to put 6-6, right, because you don't know what's actually going to evolve. So we're going to see the Aeon being played for turn and a Flower Selecting, that's the word, being used for Pram, just into a Spit here. So this is Pram's win condition. It is just to hope this Iono does enough, and I think it will, considering what we know about Nathan's prize cards. The odds of him bricking here are pretty high. So yeah, let's see what we've got here. I'm going to cram. Seems like it's just going to have to be a Spit instantly. which seems fine to me, right? You're not really scared of Roxanne when your hand is already dead. And also, knowing you have 2 Colorless prized and your 4 prize cards left, you need to have ways to find the Colorless. So this is effectively digging for Colorless, which is great for Nathan. My main concern is that the size of Nathan's deck is just not thin enough. We haven't really been able to Pokestop for this game, which could quickly backfire. So yeah, let's see how this goes. We're going to see the flower selecting being used. We're getting rid of a switch, keeping a rod. Makes sense. You're down a rod already. Actually, have 2 rod in the Lost Zone. Yeah, so that's not even a choice for Bram. There is exactly 0 debate to be had there. And it's just going to be a Jet Energy with the Tina into the active and a Lost Impacts. So, yeah. Pram doing all he can to keep up with this prize race. That's really all you can do, right? Hope the Manaphy, or not the Manaphy, the Kyogre doesn't come out and win the game from there. So, hey, let's see here. Manaphy. Wait, going away for Nathan. Quite risky. You haven't seen a Water Energy from Pram yet, so I'm kind of the opinion that Pram's probably not playing the Water Energy. But that's still a very risky call to make as Nathan. An escape rope and a counter catcher. I think we're getting. Ooh, I don't think I agree with that. I really don't see how we need the counter catcher in this game, unless we're taking 1 Pres knockout this turn. In which case, we want to be able to gust up Tina and kill it with Moon. But I don't know. I mean, I guess you want to force the Tina V starts to stay in the active, but it's gonna do that regardless. But I guess rope kind of contradicts. I don't know. I guess maybe if you have a rope in hand, the reason is so that yeah, it would have to be so so you could catch her back up after a rope. That's the word. But yeah, this is quite rough for Nathan. Not a lot going on here. It's gonna be another switch card. I think we're just digging this turn. Not trying to do too much. Energy Recycler is a fine grab, but the real problem here is how we have all these energies stuck in the hand, and no way to really get them out of the hand. There's a Nest Ball, but I don't believe there's a Rod, because obviously if there was a Rod, we would be playing Rod to get back Greninja, Nest Ball for Greninja, to start discarding these energies, and also thin the deck. So, oh, but Pram reveals, hey, I play Water Energies, and yeah, that's the end of that story, which frankly, fair enough. Oh, okay, and I guess we're watching Lysander Strikes Back. Okay. Okay. Oh, and then we're already... Production, what the fuck is this? Guys, you can't just cut to a fucking video and then go back into the game as it's like... What is this, turn... This might be turn 2 for Nathan. Oh my god. Production. That better not happen again. That's some crazy shit. Okay. Well, we're gonna see what we can what we can see happening from this game. It's gonna be a, I think Nathan's played a Colorless, played a Comfy, shuffling the deck quite a lot here. And I believe used a Pokestop as well when using Comfy. So I'm assuming this is turn 1 for Nathan. It's kind of the only assumption I can make at this point. Yeah, it's going to be a Nest Ball for a Cram, and I think a Spit. 17 minutes left on the clock. This matchup does go pretty slow, so both players kind of just trying to race for whatever win condition they can find. But it seems like I have a hard time imagining this game finishing, unless one of these players bricks, which, I mean, we saw that happen in game 1, so I guess 16 minutes, I mean, it's not impossible, as long as both players keep up pace of play, if I can speak normally, then yeah, that is completely fine. So, course for Pram is gonna be the Tina and the Psychic to the Lost Zone. I think that's fine. Get to keep the path as well. Maybe we can get rid of a path instead of the Nest Ball, which we will need. Crams at hand, and I think we're probably using Greninja before path, right? I guess we only have that one energy, so it's probably just to retreat this turn. Kind of has to be. Yeah, that's what's going to happen here. You could be greedy and use the Greninja and hope you find another energy, but if you whiff, you just kind of fuck yourself. So, yeah, it's going to be the Spit back for Pram here. And let's see what Nathan's got. So, Greninja switch cart, not ideal. I think you kind of have to keep the Greninja here. Yep, that's going to be the plan. Pokestop coming down. As well as the Greninja. Yeah, so Nathan's just got to keep turboing through this deck. Got to make some choices here. We're going to see concealed cards, 2 good cards, and the Pokestop. So probably hoping, or probably wishing he did that out of order, but it is what it is. Be the Palpat back double Colorless, one for the Pokestop, and the one played last turn. All right. Gonna be the rope. So the Pram promotes here. I feel like Greninja is always the obvious choice, but it's gonna be the Comfy, which is very interesting. This is Pram's only Comfy in play, so I guess the idea is that you kind of don't get Greninja'd, but this is weird. I mean, I guess we have a Chorus in hand for Pram, and by having the Cramorant, you still have an attacker guaranteed. But I don't know that I like this. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I really agree. Yeah, I feel like Greninja is always just a better grab or like a better give here. But I guess the idea is that like if Nathan is going to Greninja this turn, and the Comfy dies anyway. But I also just don't think Greninja is a great play for Nathan here. So you're expecting, realistically, it's probably Iron Hands that's going to come down. In which case, yeah, I just think the Greninja is a better give, especially with 4 in the Lost Zone for Pram. But interesting. Yeah. Nathan's not playing as fast as I want him to, admittedly. His pace of play has been consistent, so there's not much to say on that. But I think in Nathan's shoes here, you need to be playing faster if you want to win this game. You're favorable in this matchup. Walking away from it with a tie is typically not considered to be great. So I think as Nathan, you really should be playing faster to make sure you're able to close out this game. Because right now it's looking like this is going to be a tie, since this turn is just taking so long for Nathan. Now, obviously, like the deck's hard to play, right? Like I'm not going to sit here and say that Nathan shouldn't, think. And if you have to take your time, you have to take your time. It's better than throwing, but still, we're trying to be optimal here. I think playing a fair bit faster, thinking a lot less about what energies we're grabbing from Mirage Gate, because frankly, this does not matter. Yeah, I mean, whether you do that play or you save the switch cart and go double to Iron Hands from the gates, and then attach retreat with the Comfy, like you could do that too. But whether you do that or you put the energy on the Sableye, I just don't think it matters enough for you to be wasting effectively, like, what was that, almost 2 minutes spent debating that. You just kind of have to, like, play on instinct. But we're going to go into Pram's turn. Still, we have 9 minutes left. I mean, it's not like this game can't finish. And it's not like, Nathan needs to play that fast. It kind of just depends, right? Like, we're at 3 prize cards for Nathan. Nathan can, theoretically, win in turns of time now, which I think is the priority, right? But you still want to give yourself the most time possible in a scenario like this. And spending a couple minutes debating a Mirage Gate that I frankly don't think matters is not really doing you any favors. So yeah, it's going to be a switch cart into this Comfy. And I was thinking that's a Water Mirage Gate. So I'm going to do the water going around here. Wait here. No, it's going to be the Mirage Gate. I guess we're sitting with double gate in hand. Yeah, okay, then never mind. Yeah, then we're chill to just get rid of it. It looks like we're gonna have to hit with the Tina V-Star. Of course, makes the most sense. And with the Kyogre gone, the line for Nathan here is always just to simply go Sableye next turn, Moon for game the turn after. Or, if you do have the resources, you can move for game this or Moon this turn, and then have the Sableye on the bench to effectively set up a checkmate position. But of course, the problem with that is that if you use Frenzied Gouging, then Pram can go Sableye, kill Moon, kill Sablezard, or Sableye for game. So, a couple different interesting lines for Nathan here. None of them feel perfect as far as ways of dealing with this he does. You have the excuse how tired I am. I went to bed too late, like a dumbass. All right. Yeah, we're gonna see the Comfy promotion for Nathan here. There's the draw for turn. Don't know why we're waiting, drawing for turn. Colorless off the top is good, obviously. And what now? What are we looking at? It's gonna be the Colorless being played here. I think that's just gonna always be probably Comfy and VIP pass. Obviously, the VIP pass goes away, but I think we just get rid of the Comfy here. So Rod, Nest Ball, and Dark Energy. Yeah, and bye-bye Comfy. No reason for that to stick around too much. Wow. I don't remember being this tired. Okay, yeah, so look at the hand here. There's a couple lines. I think you're gonna have to go for the Sableye. There's just so many risks involved, right? The main issue is the Roxanne. I guess... No, you can't use your own hand disruption. Interesting. Okay. So my main concern... okay, here's what you have to do as... Well, no, it doesn't work because of Countercatcher. The problem with benching the Moon prematurely, which is what I think Nathan really wants to do here, which would be the best thing for Nathan. The problem is simply that if Pram knocks out the Moon, you have so few ways of like getting it back that the game just kind of ends, right? Unless you hit like the perfect cards off Roxanne. So it's interesting, right? But I think we're gonna go for the Iron Hands here. Do we have gate? Do we have 2 gates in hand? No, we don't. We're going for the Cram. Okay. But we did shuffle back the Iron Hands, so yeah, this Cram's gonna be used here. But why are we using the Cram when we could simply use the Sableye? We're going down to 2 prize cards here. I mean, I guess the idea is that Pram's at free and you just simply don't bench a 2-prizer. Yeah, because you're not forced to bench a 2-prizer. So you go Cram this turn, Sableye next turn. Probably going 110 and then 110 active Cram and then 10 on the Greninja. Yeah, and then the math will work out perfectly for a second Sableye to close out this game. Or worst case, you would just Roaring Moon, right? But still, you're very vulnerable to Roxanne here. Iono works just fine. Obviously, Prem would prefer Roxanne, give himself a bigger high-end size, but yeah, it's interesting. I mean, rather Iono than nothing, right? At the end of the day. Yeah, it's going to be a spit for... No, we're going to see a Pokestop. Okay, interesting. Be the Vacuum being played here. Good. Get rid of a resource for Nathan. That's always a good thing. Playing the Rod as well. I think it's just going to be the energies here. Yep, no Pokemon that really matter too much. And let's see what we're going to do here. It's just going to be a spit, yeah. This is a good board stage for Pram. Like, yes and no, because Wait, what? Okay, I'm gonna pause that for a second. This is a good state for Pram, because you're kind of just hanging out with this board. Like you need Nathan to whiff stuff, right? But like that would always have been the case. Um, so you go spit here. Nathan's probably gonna go for the Sableye, and you need Nathan to not have Sableye for the next turn, right? Which isn't too bad. And if Nathan doesn't have it, then you win on the spot. So, yeah. Now I'm pausing because I don't understand why Nathan's promoting his Comfy. I think promoting his Comfy is super, super, super risky. I guess the argument to be made here is that you need to see cards within your deck to be able to have the Sableye next turn. But if you whiff an out to retreat this Comfy off the top deck with Flower Selecting, you lose the game on the spot. Which you just can't let happen as Nathan. So I think this is really, really greedy. Of course, he's going to top deck the Dark Energy regardless. So yeah, it's going to be the Recycler being used here. Definitely going to get rid of this. Get back the Psychic, and it's just only going to be the Psychic. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess just wanted to have the Psychic as an out as early as possible. Wanted to have it in the hand is not bad either. I would have liked to see like more energies back, just to, like abuse concealed cards, but it's not the end of the world. I think we're getting rid of the Lightning here. Yeah. Get rid of Lightning, use the switch card. We use concealed cards first, though. Iron Hands and a switch. Switch is good. Might as well use another Comfy this turn, for sure. You need to see cards. Or not. We can also not see cards. I mean, I guess this is fine, right? Like, you have the switch card for next turn. You just need so much to pull off the Sableye next turn is the problem. So I kind of think that like this is where you have to be greedy. So maybe yeah, promoting the Comfy was probably just better there because like if you don't promote the Comfy, then you don't have anything regardless. But I guess the counter argument is that you don't get the Flower Selecting. It's interesting. I mean, there are definitely like arguments being made here on either side, but I think we're going into time. I believe Nathan was turn 0. This shouldn't matter for the course of the game. Pram simply attacks twice to win the game in his 2 turns. Nathan has 1 more turn, just needs to attack once. If he doesn't attack once, then Pram would win regardless. So, yeah, this is fine. This is, thankfully, one of those games where, yes, we're going into turns of time, but it really doesn't matter. Pram, we're going to be looking to use the Greninja to attack here. That's very interesting, and frankly, I'm not sure about it. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter, I guess, is the thing. Maybe we're just thinning. We're using Colorless. What are we digging for? Switch card would be huge. I'm not sure Pram plays Switch card, though. Yeah, it's going to be a retreat, and it looks like we're going to use the V-Star here. Yeah. Obviously, need to conserve those energies for next turn, so definitely the right call. All right. Comfy to active. This is Nathan's last chance to hit it. I think we're seeing Skate, Iron Hands. I think an energy somewhere. Water. Comfy. Switch card, yeah. Nathan, of course, able to take all the time he wants now. Being in turns of time, pace of play, it doesn't matter. We're going to see the concealed cards first into double Colorless. Okay. Yeah, I cannot be too unhappy about that. There's going to be the Colorless here. So we're trying to find a Rod, and then Rod back Sableye, and then find out to Sableye off of our Comfies. That has to be the line here. Of course, Counter Catcher and Counter Catcher and Battle VP Pass are useless, so they are just hitting the Lost Zone. And yeah, I think we're just going to Rod back the single Sableye. If we have a Psychic, we definitely Rod back the Psychic because we do need the Psychic as well. Yeah, no, well, no, we have Gate. 3 cards in deck. As long as you don't hit. This is interesting. So the problem is that like you need to selecting, but you don't want to hit both the Psychic and the you don't want to hit both the Psychic and the Sableye. So you can go Rod back Psychic and Sableye, but then you have less outs to the Sableye. So it's really, really, really awkward here for Nathan. I think you're statistically likely to hit it, but you're trying to like maximize your outs. Getting water energy, really? I guess for the gates? But you have lightning in hand. What? Okay, what's going? I just want to make sure what's going on here. So Nathan attaches both, then realizes, hey, shouldn't have attached the psychic energy. Can I take that back? And I think that's the debate here. Okay, well that was clearly a massive blunder for Nathan. Obviously, you know, if you're Pram, your opponent does that. The judge is right there. It's like, well, what do you say to that, right? Nathan clearly knows that, you know, there was a fuck up there. And then it just straight up doesn't matter anyway. So, yeah, okay. Definitely a stressful late game for sure. Really interesting though, regardless. Yeah, that was a really interesting last game of the set. The set as a whole was kind of like all over the place, but the game was good. We're gonna go into our lunch break game here, round 4 once again. It's gonna be Joe Turrentine, of course, the GOAT. Yeah, teammate of mine against Evan Campbell. Joe, I think, has like just the worst like luck on stream I've ever seen. This man draws the most ungodly playable hands I've ever seen whenever this guy's on stream. And of course, you know, I want you guys to really pay attention to Joe's camera throughout all of this, because this motherfucker's like straight up emoting like the entire time. Which I think is why they put him on stream, despite the fact that he always gets his ass handed to him. Which is great. It's a good time. Also, I have no idea why the fuck Zard or Joe brought Zard to this tournament. The kitchen was kind of all over the place on like what they brought for this tournament. I know that. I know there was a lot of Art Gigas and a lot of Zard, and of course Sawyer playing the big fishy, the Kyogre. But yeah, Zard, I'm not, you know, exactly a believer in the deck, in all honesty, but all right, let's see what we got here. I believe it is Evan going first, and a attached pass. Okay, Joe's gonna bench 2 Charmanders and also pass. All right, we're doing great, guys. I see triple Dark Patch in Evan's hand. They're gonna bench another Moltres. And yeah, Joe is going to have some very, very emoted reactions to to 3 Dark Patch hitting discard. Yeah, this game's a lot of fun because of Joe. I hope you guys know that Joe is just as much of a clown outside of stream and Pokemon tournaments as well. Motherfucker thought being the class clown was a challenge. Regardless, we're going to see a Direfling Waves plus attached from hand to the Moltres, benching 2 Moon, and then hitting with the Moltres. Joe, of course, going to pop off, top decking the Arven out of an unplayable hand, because he's simply just him. Gonna go for his first prize check here, and what do we grab? I think it was like Ultra Ball for a Sealstone. Yep. I think we had double Pidgeot in hand. Losing the Pidgey there was really, really bad. If that Pidgey survived one more turn, this would be so much better for Joe, but oh well. Yeah, and the Candy. We just had Pidgey plus Candy in hand last turn. So yeah, really, really unfortunate that Evan was able to pull off the attack. Of course, I mean, Roaring Moon not attacking on turn 2 is frankly unheard of, right? It'd have to be a historically bad hand for Evan for that to happen. So it is what it is. Joe is going to have to just punch this Moltres for the knockout, of course, because not only of the prize card Evan took, but also because of the 30 damage on the Moltres as a result of its attack last turn. So Joe living on a prayer here, hoping that Evan does not one-shot this Charizard, because if he does, it's looking grim. It would be very, very bad. Let's put it that way. So, Evan's going to start by playing the last Dark Patch of the game. That's Dark Patch number 4. It's going to be an attach from turn and an Iono. I guess the idea of attaching from hand, instead of using concealed cards, you want to have the concealed cards until after the Iono. Yeah. This is interesting for sure. It's going to be concealed cards. I think it was a Palpad and something else gotten back here for Evan. Dazzling Wing is going to be used. Do we have it? I think we have Energy Switch. I don't see a way to retreat, though. There's more Pekko. And we're passing it over to Joe. Okay, so Joe's alive. It's going to be the benching the Radzard. I think it's Battle VP pass vacuum Iono in hand, so this always has to just be the Iono. There's nothing to vacuum. Again, Joe's hoping for like a somewhat playable hand. Of course, hits Charmeleon double VIP pass and a rare candy. Sick invite. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna have to hit this moon. Nothing else to it. Yeah, there's nothing else you can do here as Joe, unfortunately. So that's just what we're gonna do here. And yeah, let's see how this goes. The problem here is that if Evan is able to hit the active with the clean Roaring Moon on the bench, being at 3 prize cards, then there's no way Joe can kill the Roaring Moon unless he finds an out to Zardy-X. But he's in top deck mode completely, so it's rough. Pokemon Catcher in Evan's hand. I think we're going to see the Forest Seal Stone. For a switch cart, seems good, seems fine. Yeah, obviously need to get this out. You need to get this damage Roaring Moon on the active. Preferably it never hits the active spot again, but regardless, we just need to attack, use that Frenzied Gouging. And I think it's just going to be, yeah, the Frenzied Gouging being used. And of course, because of the jelly, it is only going to be 80 damage on the Roaring Moon. Yo, Buffo, what's up? How we doing? And yeah, Joe is gonna just kind of sit here and go, my hand fucking sucks. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to do here as Joe. What do we top deck? I think we top deck the Rod. I mean, I guess with only 1 prize in play and Evan having free prize cards, I mean, this is not like unwinnable for Joe, at least not yet. Evan takes a 1 prize knockout here. You hit him with the Zard next turn. Also, especially if no Stadium hits the board, this could get really, really bad for Evan. But of course, we do have the Pokestop, so it's not the issue here. Evan, we're going to keep going through the deck. Thinning out as much as possible, trying to just make sure he can lock up the game for next turn, assuming Joe is able to find a Zardy-X, and, you know, acquire the ability to play a game of Pokemon for once. And I think we are just going to use... No, okay, we're moving ability markers from last turn. There's Pokestop. There's, what was that? Wait, what was that? Oh, restart. Okay, I was about to say, like, why are we taking a card off the top? Alright. Yeah, it's going to be the Earthen Vessel, once again. Getting too dark. And, yeah, I think at this point we're just trying to probably power up the bench Roaring Moon. Which is slightly scuffed. I mean, there is also the line of powering up the Mew is actually a really good idea here because, well, no, if Joe takes 2, then that doesn't work. Okay, yeah. You need Joe to go to 1, and you can't force Joe to 1. This is actually kind of awkward for Evan. Assuming Joe is able to hit the VMAX, or the DEX, sorry. Joe hits the EX, right? You can't attack with, you have to hit it with a Roaring Moon. But if you hit it with a damaged Roaring Moon, you go to sudden death. Which means you lose the game. Or you don't lose the game, right? But, like, you obviously don't want to go into sudden death. But yeah, Joe is not going to find EX, and Evan is just going to show the switch out, which is unfortunate, of course, but what can you do, right? But yeah, that game had gotten really, really close if Joe was even just able to find his RDX there, which kind of goes to show how like one-sided this matchup can be. Um, because of the fact that what's gonna call it Lazard has so much HP and Evan needed another attacker. Yeah, okay. I don't know why I'm struggling to find the word so much. Maybe I'm just like completely out of it. All right, we're gonna go into this game 2, and if I recall correctly, this game 2 is gonna be just as fast as game 1. Prize cards a bit all over the place for Joe. Not terrible, but not great. And it looks like we are starting down a Radzard start for yeah, for Evan here. And so now Evan started. Yeah, he still wins. I mean, to be fair, when Joe doesn't play Pokemon, it's pretty easy, right? But yeah, I mean, if Joe had top decked an out to RDX there, being down all the dark patches, I mean, it's really hard for Evan to actually win that game if Joe finds his RDX, which is kind of crazy to think about. So yeah, we're gonna see an Ultra Ball being played here for Evan. Just going to do the thing that you do when you play the Roaring Moon deck. Palpet back the Iono, might as well. I think we're going for a Squawk. Yeah, we grab the Squawk, so might as well just burn that, of course. Joe not looking super happy with his hand, but it's just going to be a restart for Evan here. VIP found. Jelly. What else? A Roaring Moon, a Dark Energy. Yeah, it's going to be Mew EX and Roaring Moonite up here. No, that's a Moltres. I don't not think we want 2 Moltres here. I definitely think we always grab second Roaring Moon and probably the Mew EX. You could grab more Pekko. As long as you have a free retreater, that's what matters the most. Yeah, so that seems reasonable for Evan. Again, like nothing, nothing super crucial here. You have the other Roaring Moon in hand. You're just trying to set up, make like as Evan, your goal here is simply just to put yourself in the best spot for next turn, right? What you do this turn doesn't matter as long as you're able to do a lot next turn. So we're just trying to go through cards, right? That's Evan's only real goal. And to that extent, I actually wouldn't have hated to see the energy switch being played, all already there. I think that would have been fine just to see an extra card. But then again, you do want to attack with the Moltres next turn, so energy switching off of it might have been kind of counterintuitive. Is it really necessary, the second Moltres in the Moon, to play it? Necessary? No, but it's definitely good. It's very, very good because the Moltres is such a key part of your strategy. If it does get knocked out, you do want to have a second one. You don't want it prized, of course. You want to have more outs to find the card. It's just a really good card. So yeah, I think playing the 2 is just correct, right? But yeah, this hand for Joe is bad. It's gonna be a Rotom, a Mander, a Boss to stall time, and an instant charge. So yeah, Joe Turrentine not playing a lot of Pokemon here. Not a lot to say. It's gonna be a single energy grabbed off of the Earthen Vessel for Evan. Really, all I need to do here as Evan is just punch literally anything. If you're able to do that, I think you're chilling. We have a Sada, we have an energy, and I think we have an energy switch. So yeah, we are able to attack with this Roaring Moon. Going to be a restart first. There's a switch card. Obviously, with 2 energy on the active, there's no reason to use that. We do have 1 energy in the discard, so it's going to be the Sada. Force Seal, Pokemon Catcher, and another Force Seal. We're going to play the Pokemon Catcher, flip Tails. Joe is going to pop off in relief. But what if Evan were to, God forbid, 4 Steel Stone for a Pokemon catcher. He wouldn't, right? He wouldn't. Right? Right, chat? No way. Nah, I did watch this live. And safe to say, I mean, this is an interesting play for Evan, right? Obviously, you know, if you flip heads on this catcher, you all but win on the spot. But if you flip tails, it's really really weird. Because now, you know, you're hitting the active. And Joe might be able to play Pokemon next turn, right? Did get more cards off of the, off of that Rotom, but seems like it's going to be another Tails for Evan, having completely wasted his V-Star, so not great. And then we actually just choose to not grab a Stadium off of the... Okay, so here's what I would have done, being Evan. I think what I'd done is I'd grab the Pokestop. Not only does the Pokestop act as your Stadium discard, right, to knock out the Radzard. Radzard's a great, great card to knock out in this matchup. It's very, very important for Zard's price trade. But also, you use the Pokestop, you can find another Pokemon catcher, right? If you don't like the catcher, hey, that's fine, because you're still one-shotting something. I think this play from Evan was too greedy. Although, to be fair, Roy Moon is the great deck, right? There's not too many lines where you get punished here, but there's certainly a couple. And Joe, depending on what this Rotom found, might be able to punish Evan a bit, but I don't see a lot going on in Joe's hand. I'll be honest. There's seemingly a whole lot of nothing, which is not great. It's certainly not amazing. It's gonna be okay. There is an Arven, so we can establish a Zard, and we have a Zard in hand as well. Okay, so there's not nothing, but we need a board. We need other Pokemon in play. Something which Joe has seemingly struggled to find pretty much all series. But yeah, we're gonna see the level ball being played. Just looking at his hand. Yeah, obviously using the effect of the level ball. And I think it's got to be a Mander here, right? Yeah, it's going to be the Mander. And then we're going to go... We have an Arven for next turn as well in this hand. So, able to play the game. We're going to see the Candy Zard. And we do have to force Hillstone for the switch. Unfortunately, as a result of the Zard, the Radzard being stuck in the active. Yeah, it's quite interesting. There's actually... Yeah, maybe it's kind of good that the Radzard's in the active for Evan, because you're forcing more resources out of Joe. But it still feels so scuffed to me. Getting rid of the Luminion. Speaking of scuffed, now it's going to be the Arven being gotten rid of. I mean, it makes more sense than the Luminion, right? You're obviously not scared of boss because you already have the Rotom in play. It's not going to matter. You already have a liability. And the Lumen can be not only just the Arven, but like anything. So, yeah, I think this is fine for Joe. You kind of did all you could. This game, is long past the point where it's in control of Joe, right? Joe is not in control of what happens here. All you can do is play to your outs, try to keep up, and take it from there, right? But it's not looking great. No Pidgey on the board. Going to make this game harder and harder for Joe. For every turn that goes by, at least, you are attacking, but eventually you're not going to be able to do that if Evan keeps up the pressure. I do believe we're about to see the frenzied gouging here. And, yeah, it just, the reason Zard is typically favored in this matchup is because not only you have one prize options for your Charmanders and your Charizard, Radzard, of course, that can swing the prize trade, but also, as a result of Pidgeot, you pretty much always have the response you need for a Moon. The problem is that without Pidgeot, you don't have said response, and you kind of just have to sit there as your opponent shits all over you, because you can't always find the perfect response. Perfect response here, for example, would probably be to hit with, with a fresh Radzard, but second best would be to hit with a Zardy X, right? Fresh to Radzard would be a lot of resources, If we had, well, first of all, Radzard without damage counters on it, but second of all, it's a lot of energies at this point in the game. But yeah, it's rough regardless. Joe is going to grab the Iono off of the fish, and then I believe, actually, did find Rare Candy Ultra Ball. So, he's not out of it yet, right? Because even though there is a second Roaring Moon on the bench, that Roaring Moon does have damage. So, if the bench Roaring Moon does go for Frenzy Gouging to respond to the Charizard, then Joe also goes to 2 prize cards and simply has to use Radzard for the game. So yeah, interesting, but oh, it's going to be a Steady Fire Breathing. No, that is a Heat Tackle. Heat Tackle Charmander, that's right. Heat Tackle Charmander, but is going to be the Pokemon Catcher being used, and now I think this game is lost, right? Because now Evan goes to 2, yeah, Evan goes to 2 here, and what do, right? You can respond with Radzard. I guess you have to respond with Radzard. Hope there's not another Gust. I guess Iono Radzard attack is the line for Joe. But again, without this Pidgeot, right? You have no way of you have no way of deciding that you even are able to pull off that play. Your control over the game as Zard is very dependent on your reliance on Pidgeot, and without Pidgeot, this is getting just harder and harder by the turn for Joe, like I said earlier, right? But yeah, Heat Tackle is a very, very real attack in this deck. Definitely something that should not be slept on. So yeah. All right, let's see what we got here for Joe. It's going to be the Radzard into the active. It's really all you can do. It's just going to have to be an Arven. No hand disruption available in the hand. So you're simply just going to have to do what you can to set up a board state and a hand that will win you the game next turn. But not a lot of options for Joe. He's a 2 VIP pass in his hand, which is not exactly amazing. But it is what it is. Nothing else you can do about it. Going to be Ultra Ball being played here, getting rid of the Lost City and the VIP pass, which seems fine to me. Yeah, and it's going to be the Radzard getting powered up here on the bench, getting ready. And let's see what we got here. So it's going to be the Charmeleon as well. Yeah, and just a hit with the Radzard. So all we need to see as Evan here is a power up, literally anything, and there's the boss. Yep. So unfortunate. Joe, of course, not getting to use a single quick search all set is going to make that very, very, very difficult. But yeah, nothing else to it. So with that being said, that was 2 out of 4 games. Let's talk about the meta. For those paying attention on Twitter, I had some opinions on this meta game, for sure. Which people had mixed responses to. So first of all, here's the day 1 meta, which is very, very, very interesting. And when I say interesting, I mean it is wildly confusing over the fact that people have no idea what the fuck is actually good in this format. Zard is falling off harder than, Miraidon a month ago. Speaking of Miraidon, you should not be in the top 6 anymore. It just shouldn't be, right? There's very, very, very few reasons left to be playing Miraidon over Roaring Moon. This is, of course, just at the highest level, right? Obviously, you can play whatever the hell you want. But, out of regionals, I'm expecting people to bring what's best, and clearly, at least some of those 100 people playing Miraidon thought that Miraidon was the best deck in the format, or the best deck for the tournament, and they were wrong. They are definitely wrong, and we're going to see that in Miraidon's conversion rate being horrendous. But that's for later. Zard being the most popular deck is not surprising, but also weird at the same time. Zard's kind of been sticking around the top, mainly because, sure, it's a good deck, but out of, the best decks in the format, Zard is the easiest to play. Which means that a lot of people feel very, very, confident with it, right? And that's kind of that's what this is resulting in. A lot of people feel confident bringing Zard. It's a good deck. And Yeah, I don't think it's the best deck in the format. Not even close, actually. I think frankly, it's probably on its way out of the top five. That's how much it's falling out, or falling off, I should say. But yeah, building a deck only for it to melee hold. Yeah, Backlash. That's been holding true for you for a while. Listen, I'll give you a 60 next time. Okay, trust. No, Roaring Moon being the second most popular deck as well is it's weird. I think this recent surge of Roaring Moon hype is very overblown. I think Roaring Moon's a good deck. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a top five deck in the format, probably in the lower half, but still, pretty good. But it does not deserve to be the second most popular deck in the room. Um, it's just not at that level in my opinion. Um, Tina, good deck. Has a weird matchup spread. I feel like everything can beat Tina, but because of Rock Sand Path, everything or Tina can also beat everything. Sablezard is a really bad matchup for Tina. Moon is a very awkward matchup for Tina, and I can suspect that the reason Moon is seeing more play is because of the projected, a lot of people playing Tina. Moon does pretty well into Tina, not like perfect, but certainly not terribly into Tina. Um, so there's that. Lost Zone Box is going to be a mix of people playing Kyogre variants primarily and Sablezard. I think Sablezard was the more popular variant of Lost Box in this tournament. Sablezard, of course, doing very, very well into Zard, Roaring Moon, and Tina. Three of your best matchups. Actually, probably just straight up your three best matchups. So, it's a good time to be playing Roaring Moon. Not Roaring Moon, Radzard, right? But Kyogre, of course, saw a massive resurgence in the tournament. A lot of really good players playing Kyogre. We're gonna see a lot of them in day two, especially once we get there. So yeah, Lost Box finally, getting acknowledged in this format for the top deck that it is. Although I do wish that they would split up the Lost Zone variants because there's just so many of them. At the bare minimum, divide them between what Radiant Pokemon they play, right? If it's Lost Box Greninja and Lost Box Zard, that's completely fine. But yeah, Gardevoir. Again, a deck I am of the opinion on is super overhyped. I know it won this weekend. I don't really think that changes my opinion on the deck. I do think I have to admit that it is a top five deck in the format, but still on that lower half, at least right now. I think the reason Gardevoir is kind of popping up again is because of the increase in Roaring Moon. People still play Zard, right? It has a good Tina matchup, and actually feels pretty fine into Lost Box, right? I think a lot of your Lost Box matchups can be 50-50. Sablezard is obviously one I have very strong opinions on. But also, right, we see a lot of the Kyogre players this weekend playing the Mawile in an attempt to prevent Manaphy and Jirachi and stuff coming down. So Gardevoir definitely in a weird spot, just not prior to this weekend and also after this weekend. I think it was a good play for this tournament. I'll have to admit it was a good play for this tournament with the increase in Roaring Moon. I think going forward though, I think it's going to fall off once again. Moonlight Hill is not good enough. I've seen less lists that have completely focused on Moonlight Hill, playing no reversal energy, and 3 Moonlight Hill, and that's actually kind of sick. But the one Moonlight Hill is just not enough. It doesn't really do anything for Guardy at that point. I'd rather just play Champions Festival, which should tell you all you need to know. Finally, Maridon should not be here because you'll notice Mew VMAX not here. After its very dominant win in Liverpool, NA decided, no, we don't think Mew VMAX is good enough. Even though Mew VMAX is favored in the Zard, favored in the Roaring Moon, probably favored in the Tina, I would argue anyway. Doing pretty fine into most Lost Box variants. Slightly sketchy Gardevoir matchup, but Judge Path is very good, and a great Miraidon matchup as well. I think Mew and Tina are the two best decks in this format. I would argue Sablezard is number third, but it's hard because of the lack of people playing the deck. But yeah, I think the top three decks are Giratina, Mew, and Sablezard. Hence why I think it is absolutely criminal that so many players just forgot Mew VMAX existed. But to be fair, we did see a lot of top players actually respecting Mew quite a lot this weekend. Obviously, Kyogre, not great for Mew typically. Spiritomb was played in, I think I heard both top 8 lists of Tina this weekend did play Spiritomb, right? Obviously, Tina is definitely going to be favorable into Mew when they do play the Spiritomb, right? So yeah, a lot of people respecting Mew this weekend. Maybe respecting Mew a lot more than they uh, wanted to play it. But frankly, Miraidon doesn't belong here. Broing Moon and Zard should really be going down a couple spots. But still, you know, it's not like that much has really changed. So let's go find round number 5. Here we go. Wait, we missed round number 5. Fuck. No, I want to watch Arc Ray. Okay, fine. Fine. We'll watch Tina versus Moon. God, okay. John Eng versus Eric Correa. Correa? Not Korea, but yeah. Not sure to pronounce that one. Um, Either way, yeah, Tina versus Roaring Moon. Roaring Moon, this is kind of like a favorite matchup for Roaring Moon in my opinion. But not by a lot, right? Tina has plenty of one prize options that can definitely fuck with the prize map for Roaring Moon. And of course, Roxanne passed very good. So yeah, it's weird. But we'll see how this plays out. Not anything super interesting in the prize cards for John, but for Eric, double Dark Patch and both free retreaters stuck in the prize cards. Very, very, very interesting. As it's very bad. It's not great. It's certainly not what you want to see as Eric here. It simply is what it is. So let's get into this. Yeah, it's going to be Eric going first. Yeah, what are we doing? I'm actually gonna like increase the speed here because we can always just pause to talk about stuff. Because I do feel like certain things have gone like a little too slow. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna see the VIP being played, getting the Squawk and the Roaring Moon. It's gonna be an Ultra Ball. Debating it for a second, but yeah. We're going to Squawk, so there's obviously no reason to be keeping the research, but obviously it shouldn't really matter too much. I think we're going to grab the Moltres, then we're going to hold the Energy Switch to go Dire Flame Williams Energy Switch to, I guess, Active Moon is a fine commitment here. Benched Moon is fine too. I don't think it matters too much as long as you're able to do stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a Booster Capsule and an Energy for the Energy Switch to the Roaring Moon. So pretty good for Eric so far. I think we see an Earthen Vessel. It's going to get rid of the VIP pass because you don't need anything this turn. This is going to give you concealed cards plus attach return to active, which is very, very good for Eric here. Yeah. So let's see here. Going to be a concealed card. So there's a Pokestop, I believe. Oh, we're going for the Dark Patch already? Okay. I guess not wanting to commit to the Sada next turn. With Research in hand, that seems fine. And we're going to pass over to John here. So John, got to do some concealed cardsing. And that's a completely dead hand with a Pokestop and a Dream. Not Pokestop, Pokegear and a Dream. But of course, oh, there's Colorless. Okay. We're chilling. Crossden, we're doing good. We're doing good. How are you? Watching some VOD review, some regional stream. Not watching VOD review, doing the VOD review. Alright, colors here for John. Get rid of the water and the switch. Yeah, you need the Cena, you need the Comfy. I think getting rid of a gate, keeping a Comfy. Alright, so no, John's playing Pokemon. It's not great, but we are playing Pokemon. Where can I find my classes? As in like coaching? Or I don't know. Yeah, we're good. We're gonna go benching the Tina. Yeah, coaching. I'm gonna pause for a second. You can shoot me a DM on Twitter, or just whatever you want to DM me through. Is fine. Most of my DMs should be open. Metafly is being super slow with going through the coaching process, even though it's not like I don't have the results. So yeah, I've been handling all my coaching privately, but yeah, shoot me a DM. A Twitch is even fine, frankly. Just whatever the hell works for you, and we'll definitely sort something out. So yeah, put it on pause for now though. We're gonna go back into this game. It's going to be a pass from John with the Tina on the bench, and then going into a Pokestop to start for Eric. Into a Forest Seal Stone. Okay. Interesting. believe that was the boss's orders grab, and we have the energy switch. Yes, this seems fine. You can see immediately go up 2 prize cards. This is one of the things in the Roaring Moon matchup that I think is very, very risky for Tina, and frankly I think it's just straight up ill advised. And it's benching a singular Tina. Seems super, super, super bad, because I don't think as John you can reasonably sit here and expect Eric to not have boss plus energy, right? Like, frankly, if anything, I think the fact that Eric had to commit resources like an energy switch and a forest sealstone is telling that John, frankly, got lucky here, right? Which is saying something. Yeah, so I don't think that Tina V really should have ever hit the bench. I think you have to play the one prize game, as Tina against Roaring Moon, right? You do want the Tina eventually, but it kind of has to come down at a point in the game where you're able to punish your opponent's early aggression with cards like Roxanne, right? Before that, Cram's a great card. Sableye is a great card. Radiant Greninja, hell, even like if you really want to, those options do exist. And now, I mean, all John has accomplished by benching that Tina V is Eric taking an extra prize card. I mean, I guess Eric has used the Forest Sealstone, but again, I think that's fortunate if you're John, right? At this point, like, that has to be considered a good thing, which is just, yeah, bad. It's bad. But we're gonna see the Colorless being played here again. It's gonna be a pretty rough Colorless, I think. Not a lot of great cards. Go to the boss in the path, it seems. Yeah. Keeping Grass Energy, Cram, and a switch card. Let's see here. Gonna be getting rid of the Psychic. We're benching another Tina V. Okay, we're benching 2 this time. So this is a fair bit better. At least at the bare minimum, you have a Tina V when Eric inevitably does get the knockout. So I don't really have too many issues with this. Although, frankly, I wouldn't have hated to just hold, but yeah, it's certainly weird. Now you're trying to force a Stadium out of Eric, and hopefully he also does not have a boss's order. It's going to be a switch card and an energy switch off the concealed card. It's not bad, but certainly not the best either. Dire Flame Wings, energy switch to the second Roaring Moon. Yeah, Mew V hits a Mew EX, hits the bench. Just get the free retreat, get the draw supporter. That's good. There's the Pokestop. It's pretty alright for Eric. Nothing to complain about there. No supporter has been played, so there are a couple options open to Eric here. You could have Yono, but John hasn't done too much. I think he'd really rather just be bossing, unless we do play that Pokemon catcher. I do see a Pokemon catcher there. It is going to be a Tails, so that is good for John for sure. Okay, yeah, we're gonna see the Palpad back to Boss Nasada, which is probably just always gonna be the correct play here. And yeah, what now? I guess we're hitting the Cram. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing here as Eric, is that you're just taking prize cards, right? Taking this one prize card here is going to be making the game even more awkward for John. Obviously, it's better for John than Eric knocking out a 2-prizer, but still, it's not like Eric isn't ever going to not take this knockout. So yeah, let's see how this plays out. I believe this is John's. Is this John's first deck search? It might be. It might actually be John's first deck search of the game. Let's see here. This new Lost Box with Mawile, Kyogre as well. Kyogre itself was on my radar. By quite a lot, actually. I think Kyogre was super underrated until this tournament. I think it was kind of like a matter of time before people brought Kyogre back into the meta. The Mawile was not what I expected, but I mean, through thinking about it for more than 2 seconds, it makes a lot of sense, right? Because it lets you just punish your opponent for playing all the cards to counter Lost Box. namely Guardian and Zard players. So, yeah, I think the model makes a lot of sense. I think the Kyogre makes a lot of sense. I think it's really good right now. For sure. Yeah, I would certainly consider playing it. I don't think it's a bad call by any means. I think it's really, really good. But back to the game in hand. John, just did some Tina stuff. I don't think there's too much to debate. I kind of trust John to play correctly with Tina. I don't think I have to point out too many mistakes because there really shouldn't be that many mistakes in the first place. Yeah, as John, I think we did Colorless this turn, right? Yeah, so no hand disruption is a real problem here, but I mean, I'm assuming John had no out to find hand disruption. So, yeah. So this is awkward for a couple of reasons. So what you want to happen here is you want to force this benched Roaring Moon to kind of go kaboom and knock out both the you and itself. The problem is because of the switch card and because of the Ancient Booster Capsule, if this Roaring Moon does use Frenzied Gouging, it will survive with 10 HP. Which is super, super, super awkward for John because you really have no great way of punishing that since the Sableye isn't going to kill anything else. And the Tina would one-shot everything regardless. So, yeah, it's going to be the double Dark Patch, though, onto the second Moon, punishing the lack of hand disruption from John. Maybe even going for his Ono here, yeah, as Eric. So, this is just terrible for John. It's not great. Yeah, the frenzied gouging just gonna happen here, and what do you do? Like, what can you possibly do here as John? I guess all you can do is try to force sudden death, but nope, it's gonna be a scoop from John. I mean, I guess yeah, if you had no, because the bench Roaring Moon would have survived with 10 HP, so that wouldn't even have been sudden death. So yeah, you'd have to have gone like counter catcher Roxanne, hit the benched or kill the benched one, then hope Eric doesn't have boss or rope to force sudden death, right? But even in sudden death, you're very, very unfavored as Tina against Roaring Moon. Roaring Moon is super good in sudden death, so yeah, I think the scoop there from John is completely fine. The sudden death would have been a colossal waste of time as well. So, yeah, doesn't Eric just win if he's able to pump up his Moon? Yeah, exactly. Hence why John scoops. But we're going to see the Spiritomb start here for John. It's going to be Eric going first once again. That's pretty much what John wants. Yeah, just going to see a Earthen Vessel being played here. My mouth is drying out. After this round, I'm going to go grab some water. Do you think the Tina players have figured out the best way to play against Moon? Clearly not. I think regardless of how you play it, the matchup is really, really hard, but I would say that your best way to play the matchup is to focus on single prizers, at least in the early game, until you can come back with Roxanne Path. Yeah, that's probably your best way to handle Moon as Tina. Benching Tina V's prematurely is just going to lose you the game. So you have to just not do that. Yeah. All right. We're going to see a switch card into the Mew, knowing that it's not in too much danger. It's going to be a pass over to John. Colorless right off the bat does find a Comfy and a VIP pass. I think a Jet, Water, and Path. So Water, Path being the considerations for John. They seem fine to me. Less important than the other cards, so you're kind of chilling. All right, what do we got here? Comfy, Jet Energy. All right, that's top. I talk about this a bunch every time I coach, and I can only assume John disagrees with me, which I frankly can't understand why, especially playing Tina. But I would always, especially when playing Lost Zone Box, always price check before Lost Zoning stuff. If given the option, of course, if you don't have a choice, you don't have a choice. But I know John wants a bunch of Pokemon off of this VIP pass in his hand. However, if John hits two different energies here, and does not know his prize cards, and say I don't know, prized two grass, no, two psychic energy, right? Then John comfies into psychic grass, goes, oh well, I get rid of the psychic energy, because I play more of those, and then checks his prize cards off the VIP, realizes, oh shit, I prized two psychic, looks at his lost zone and goes, fuck. So obviously that only happens if you're unlucky. However, I think it's too greedy for John to go for this here. You can just flower selecting. I know you can just paddle the PPS for get the cram, get the comfy. You have that. It's fine. Anything else is a bonus. It's good, but focus on that and just don't. I mean, this is so greedy. This is so greedy from John. He's not gonna get punished, right? Path and VIP, obviously two cards you want, but not exactly game losing regardless. I think I would have kept the path, but that's not going to be the choice for John here. We better not be grabbing Manaphy now. We're just eyeing everything up. Okay. So John, going to sit here and prize check for a bit, so we can just skip through that. Play the second VIP here. Yeah. What do you price check every game, and in what order? So it depends on what I'm playing, obviously, but with Lost Box variants, I typically price check my energies, I price check my Pokemon, and that's it. And then key cards for the matchup, right? So a good example is if I'm playing against Zard as Sable Zard, right? I price check my energies, of course. I price check my Pokemon. This is going to make my flower selections easier. And then I also price check important cards of the matchup. Roxanne's, Countercatcher, TM Devo being the main ones, right? Against Miraidon, for example, I'm trying to price check my Raihans, my DTE, my Mirage Gate, right? So stuff like that. Yeah, so Pokemon and energies, and then whatever is important in the matchup. But in Tina, for example, I think you have to price check everything. Tina is a deck that requires you to price check everything you can. So if you're planning on bringing Tina to a regionals, I actually recommend playing solitaire hands and then timing yourself, right? So if I take a deck here, I have this is not even a standard deck. This is a 2019 what's it called? Mewtwo Ninetales deck. Well, basically, what I'll do is I'll shuffle up, right? Start a game, draw 7 cards, assume, let's just say I'm going first. Get out some mulligan, but that doesn't, Point is, right? Start the game, go for a hand, deck search, time myself, right? The second I start looking at my deck, time myself, and try to take note of everything, right? And then you just do that on repeat, right? Like after you time yourself and you check your prize cards, shuffle up, set up a new game, do it all again, right? It sounds boring. It is boring, but grinding is the best way to get better. So if you want to get better at price checking, that's the best way to do it. Or you could just, have years of experience and learn it naturally that way. But obviously, that doesn't apply to everyone. Or doesn't apply to everyone. So yeah. But not every deck has to price check everything, and price checking everything does take time. Regardless of how fast you are, it will take a fair bit of time. So I typically only price check the most important things, and you'll notice that I have not brought Tina or Kyogre to a regionals because I do not want to sit here and price check literally my entire deck. But both Tina and Kyogre do kind of require that. All right, we're gonna see Eric here. Shutting up this Roaring Moon, kind of all you can do. Damage on this Mew could get pretty annoying pretty fast, but see, again, we're gonna see John bench double Tina here, and I just disagree with it. I think it's wrong in this matchup. I think it's too easy to get punished, right? If Eric is able to take two prize cards here, I guess you can respond with the second Tina, right? Benching 2 Tina is a lot better than benching 1 Tina in this matchup, right? Obviously, that kind of always applies to Tina, but especially in this matchup, it's very, very crucial, right? Because at the bare minimum, if they do kill a Tina, you can at least respond to the Roaring Moon. If you only have one, I would much rather bench 0 Tinas than 1 Tina in this matchup. For sure. Just because it's so easy to get punished. So we're going to see the Pokemon Catcher. Up goes the Tina. Up goes the moon. And we're gonna hit the Pokestop. Sure, that's fine. Capsule of this card isn't great, but it's certainly not the end of the world. We have a capsule in hand anyway. Jelly to bench. Yeah, we're vibing. That'd be the frenzy, not the frenzy gouging, the Calamity Storm. And let's see how we're handling this as John. We're going to Flower Selecting, get rid of another Comfey. That's fine. You're not really expecting your Comfeys to die in this matchup. And yeah, how do we do this? Another Tina V hitting the bench. You're now officially letting Eric go for this 2/2/2 prize trade, or prize map. Which again, like, it's not the end of the world, but I really don't want to see this Tina V hit the bench because now you're giving Eric the option of the line that goes, you ignore the V star, you kill the Tina V. You don't have to put damage on yourself, and then the game just kind of becomes unwinnable for John. But John did not have the V-Star, in which case, yes, you do have to bench the second Tina, just to keep a Tina on the board at all times. But if John literally just plays this 4 Steel Stone for Boss Sorter, then I don't see how John comes back in this game. Pretty greedy, actually, to go for the Pokestop first. Of course, you are trying to hit Pokemon Catcher if possible, but if you had hit, say, a boss or 2 boss, right, then it would have gotten really rough. Unless we still have that Pow Pad in hand, in which case it was completely fine. But yeah, let's see here. It's going to be a Switch card up here. Interesting. Do we not have a way to retreat? I started 1 Tina in game versus Melvin. Melvin got out pretty quick, but did force gouging. Yeah. Grenzard, yeah. Well, you have to use your 1 prizers to win the matchup, right? It's your only real win condition is to abuse your 1 prize Pokemon. But if you're forcing Frenzied Gouging, that's great. It's just very hard to actually force Frenzied Gouging, since you need them to whiff, right? So if they have the stadium, then they don't have the Frenzied Gouging, and then you kind of just get fucked. So. Alright, we're going to see the Nest Ball for the Greninja here. But yeah, Greninja's really good. Bench, yeah, exactly. If they misplay bench. I think they have to bench Squawk, surely, right? Is benching Squawk in that match a misplay? I don't think so. I think Moon, like, at least going second, always benches Squawk into every matchup. I don't know. Either way, John sitting here again, just not able to do anything. This has to be. There's no world with isn't. Well, no, you have to go for this cram. Triple grass back with the rod. No, it is a weak target. But that applies to every matchup. Yeah, that applies to every matchup. So. Yeah. All right. Counter catcher. Tails. John lives to see another day. Yeah, if Squawk Mew on the bench, then obviously Cram is good. But you have to be first. You have to be able to use the Gram, or the Gren. Sorry, the Greninja. Right. First, you have to be able to use it, and then you have to be able to follow up with probably Sableye, or it'd have to be another Greninja, which is your best line in the matchup. Right. It is your best line in the matchup. But I think the line for Moon in that case is that they go Morpeko, and then don't bench Greninja. So they have the Squawk, right? Obviously, if they can choose not to Squawk, that's great, but in most Roaring Moon hands, you are forced to use Squawk to play the game. So the line would have to be, you have Squawk, then you go Morpeko instead of Mew as your free retreat option, and then you don't bench Greninja because you can never bench both of your 1 prizers in the same at the same time. As Roaring Moon into any Lost Box variant, right? Benching both 1 prizers makes the game infinitely more easy for your opponent. So they won't do that, right? They won't do that. So yeah, if they bench the Mew and the Squawk, then you just kind of go ninja fuck you. But even pulling off double Greninja as Giratina in this case is like a pretty tall order, all things considered. Um, but it is among your better win conditions, for sure. But I think the key is to just not let them farm your Tinas, which is what's happening here, right? John's Tinas have been farmed to hell and back all set. Um, and yeah, it's certainly not looking great. All right, I think that was a Palpad, back, Boss, and Sada. Seems fine to me. You obviously need another energy on this bench drawing moon. If you can't find it, we do have an E-Switch in hand. Why are we not using E-Switch to bench drawing moon? Why are we not E-Switching from Moltres to drawing moon here? I feel like that's kind of checkmate, isn't it? If you do that. Yeah, that seems like a massive blunder on Eric's end. It won't matter in most cases, especially not the case where he flips heads. Yeah, okay. But still, it just seems weird. Okay. I am going to go fill up my water bottle, probably go to the bathroom while I'm at it. Yeah, I'll be back in like a minute or two. I won't be that long, so yeah, stay tuned. All right, chat, we're back. See, that didn't take very long, did it? That didn't take very long. All right. So we're gonna get into our next game here, and this is a game I've been looking forward to watching since I found out it happened. I guess I technically watched. Okay, what are we doing here? YouTube, cooperate. Cooperate, YouTube. I'm gonna give this a refresh real quick. Do not care about watching this. So yeah, this is a matchup or a game I've been excited to watch since I found out it is happening. This is going to be Tina on the left for Caden against Arceus Rayquaza for Tyler. Of course, the deck I have been playing a lot on stream. Having a lot of fun with. Really enjoyed the deck. I think it's really good. I think it's super slept on. And yeah, very excited to see it on stream here. See how Tyler plays this. I did follow along at the game in the background while I was testing at a friend's place when this was going on, but I don't actually know how the game ended. So It's going to be very interesting. Actually, I do believe this ends in a tie, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. Prize cards, once again, nothing too important. Belt can matter against Tina, but it's not like... It's not crazy important. So let's get into this. It's going to be Tyler going first, starting Delphox, and looking like it's just going to be a quick price check. Of course, it seems reasonable to me. So it was a Nest Ball for the Arc, and then I think we're going to go a Ultra Ball, away Ray and Fire Energy. And then we're grabbing a Sharknet. Seems good to me. Yeah, and then what else are we trying to do here? So we're getting rid of an energy, so I'm assuming we have an energy in hand for Tyler. Getting rid of one fire is also, very, very good here. So yeah, we have a Mew in hand, we have a Basin in hand. We're gonna go restart for an, okay, that's very risky. Okay, we're trying to do, what are we trying to do here? Use the Mew in the hand. What happens if we whiff? What happens if we whiff good cards off of that Mew? We're fucked, right? I feel like instead we just go Nest Ball, Arc, attach Fire Pass. Then you have the Ultra Ball in hand, and you go switch. You probably go like switch Research, realistically, or like Escape Rope Research, depending on what's better, based off of Caden's board. Yeah, I mean, I guess like Tyler's line isn't terrible here. Because if it does work, you put yourself further ahead than you would if you had if you'd held the Ultra Ball and gotten the Arc V-Star. But I can't help but feel like it's risky regardless, and unnecessarily so at that. But we do have another Nest Ball, so it is just going to be the Rayquaza V. Seems fine to me here. It is a card you definitely want to have in play at this matchup at some point, for sure. So, yeah. Caden, I'm going to start us off with a Concealed Cards, and I think that's a Colorless in hand. Let's see what we're working with here. Pretty alright. I think we're definitely getting rid of the Zoom, and then I think it's got to be a, switch card. So it seems fine to me. Gonna be a VIP, I guess, for double Comfy, right? I think we're doing double Comfy. Abyss Seeking wouldn't be terrible. You can go for the Cram here, but like I don't think you're gonna hit it. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I guess there is the Nest Ball in hand, so it's kind of, no, it's gonna be a Tina. Okay, so I'm assuming we are just gonna go for the Abyss Seeking here. If we are just grabbing the Tina here as Caden, I think that seems like the smartest choice. All right, let's see what we got. I think it's just going to be the Grass to active. We could switch card retreat, but it just seems bad. Yes, it's going to be an Abyss Seeking here. Definitely getting rid of VIP, and it's going to be the Water as well. Path, of course, is a super valuable card in this matchup. So, all right, back to Caden. Let's see here. What did Caden have? So Caden's two last cards in hand would have had to have been Ray. It would have been Ray VMAX or DTE, then top deck the other one. So that's two very good cards to just have there for Caden. Or not for Caden, for Tyler, sorry. I mean, Arc V hitting the bench and a Research. So getting rid of the Basin is quite rough there, but not really any alternatives for sure. I'm not entirely sure I like benching the Arceus V here. It's not bad, but I don't think it's great either. Yeah, I'm kind of undecided. But we do have the Escape Rope. Do we have an out to V-Star? I don't see it out to V-Star. Yeah, so it seems we're just going to let it rip with the Ray, and we are going to hit the V-Star, but Tyler is going to choose to not play the Palpad in his hand, which I think is debatable. I know you're trying to hit the V-Star, at all, as like, you need to hit the V-Star, right? But I think I think it's kind of just greedy and frankly a waste of resources to not use that Pal Pad. Even on anything, right? Because it also gives you more outs through Roxanne in the late game. So maybe a bit greedy for Tyler there. But yeah, we're just gonna see the knockout being used here. Choosing not to use the Starbirth immediately. I think that's fine, although there is a very real shot we do get punished very severely here for not doing so. Of course, we're still out of the Roxanne range, and having prized a Basin and being down 2 Basins, this path is 110% about to stick. So I kind of would like to have seen the Starbirth there, if nothing else, just so that Tyler's hand could have kept up with Caden here. Like it could have been 2 of any cards, like draw supporter plus fucking anything. I would love to see that, but yeah, it's just going to be the path and the boss and the seeking. So nothing going on for Caden here. Tyler not going to go punished. Yeah, not going to go punished as a result of the Armor Rouge hanging out on the bench. Yeah, Tyler will still be able to hit with this Arceus. Power up more energies. Probably put energies on the Ray. Yeah, this is great for Tyler. Obviously, like it would have been better if the arc wasn't forced into the active. You could retreat the DTE and say, take a knockout with the Ray, but still, this is just fine regardless. Tyler now putting himself in a position where, like, yeah, sure, you're not that much more ahead on the prize trade, but this board is so dominating that Roxanne path is bad, but I mean, this Ray one shots everything, this Mew one shots everything, this Delphox can very easily punish the Manaphy Lost Zone from Caden. So the sheer amount of energies on this board is going to make this game very hard for Tyler. Of course, he is able to get rid of 3 of them as he knocks out this Arceus V-Star, but it's looking rough. It's looking quite rough. As long as Caden is able to put himself in a position where he has enough energies for 2 big attacks next turn, he should just be able to win the game. Preferably, what I'd like to see Caden do here, if possible, is hit with a Delphox, take prize cards so that he goes down to 2, while leaving enough energies on the Rayquaza to clutch up the game. But we'll see what happens here. Step 1 kind of has to be getting a Basin into play. You could, no, that, I was about to say, you could, you could do some other stuff, but that other stuff doesn't work. Yeah, nothing going on in the hand for Tyler here. V-Star still not used, so if we do find this Basin, which is going to be found out the prize cards, of course, not that Tyler's going to be allowed to keep that hand for very long, but this situation is kind of scuffed, because if Caden is able to, I do have to assume Caden has cards to play here. If Caden is able to go get Tina V-Star, put it in the active, get enough energy to attack, and then simply just punch the Delphox, kill the Delphox with the V-Star, while Roxanning, while having the path in play, then what do you do as Tyler, right? Because all Caden would have to do after that is simply to just flip over his V-Star marker and kill anything. So you'd have to leave the Armor Rouge in the active, maybe a Heatran, right? Tyler, of course, sorry, has not been able to establish the Heatran so far in this game. But the gate being played for Caden, we just used a rod, didn't we? Why? We have a rod in hand, yeah, so a bit of a blunder on Caden's end, not having those energies, but I guess we have another gate, so I guess it's kind of whatever. They won't matter, this resource won't matter anymore. Anyway, 1 energy to the Ninja, 1 energy to the Tina, and a Jet, yeah, so we are big chilling here, and it's going to be a Roxanne. Yeah, all we can do here is just hope that we find the V-Star, and hope that Tyler isn't able to draw out of this Roxanne. Yeah, so this is interesting as like the line for Arc Ray in this matchup is typically that like going into this turn you want to have two attackers powered up. Um, but one of them should always be the Heatran since the Heatran does not discard or lost out its own energies when attacking into a Tina. So yeah, it's a bit weird, but it's gonna be an Abyss Seeking for Caden. Yikes. Tyler, oh, my mic. Sorry about that. Tyler, not having anything to worry about here. I have an Ultra Ball. Not great, but not terrible. I'll choose Guardian and switch to Moon, and now it doesn't. Now Knoxville, yeah. Rip. It'd be like that. Alright, so nothing going on in Tyler's hand. Still under that Pathlock. It's going to be the Confuse and Burn from the Delphox. And the Burn does stick, so this math could absolutely matter on the Tina, by the way. Now, to be fair, if the Tina V-Star does come down, we will just see these special conditions go away, but it's not, it's not like you have an alternative, right? You have to just, hit, right? I mean, there's no reason not to put the 20 on. Moonfield's way to play. Yeah. No, Moon is fun. Moon is a good time. I like playing Moon. I'm gonna sit down and have to play the Moon matchup a lot with you though. On the way to Dortmund. All right. Well, looking at Caden's hand, Caden has managed to just whiff every single out to Tina V-Star. It's frankly impressive at this point. How his deck has seemingly just decided that Tina V-Star does not exist. Both players making sure there wasn't anything wrong there. And okay, well, Cardhouse. God fucking damn it. Okay. So yeah, Caden saw an extra card off of the Comfy. I'm assuming both players just assumed it to be a DPL, and obviously that means that Tyler just wins. So that is rough. Tyler was sitting there with a 0-card hand, right? It's not like Caden couldn't have punched that out. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Looked at these prize cards. Rad Heatran in the prize cards pretty bad. Choice Belt looked again in the prize cards pretty bad. Manaphy in the prize cards though, now that is fucking important. 1-1 Ray, not the end of the world. Yeah, it is just going to be as such. Okay, so Tyler going first, that's very, very odd. That means Caden chose second. I don't think you choose second as Caden in this matchup. That feels very wrong to me. Frankly, that just seems bad. You just never let Arc go first if you can. But oh well, it is what it is. Yeah, we are going to see Tyler grabbing this Arc V off of an Ultra Ball. And it looks like there's not a lot else in the hand, but I mean, this time I'm kind of forced to. But we're going to see a Concealed Cards into a Colorless. Alright, there's the V-Star, the V, Grass, Path, and I think a Switch card as well. Kind of all over the place here. Get rid of the V-Star and the Switch card. It's probably your best bet here. Yeah, pretty much forced to Abyss Seeking with his hands. A couple different options here. Getting rid of 2 Switch card feels really bad, but I think you probably have to keep the other 2 cards too badly. So, going into Tyler's turn, what are we looking at here? It's going to be an Armor Rouge. There's the Basin. Okay, it's something. And it seems we are hitting for 10. Okay, no, so that's not actually bad. I mean, we're not playing Pokemon, so it is pretty bad. And frankly, I would have liked to see the Magma Basin being held until we find an Arceus V-Star. But putting 10 on a Tina V is pretty impactful. And a fair bit of math. Actually, is it? No, it is not. No, it's not actually. Yeah, no, 10 on Tina V doesn't matter. Not for Ray math. It would only matter for Arcstar with a Choice Belt, but we of course know the Choice Belt is prized, so Yeah, and it also still doesn't matter if the Tina V Star comes down. So this is just a massive blunder on Tyler's end. Actually, you definitely hold that Basin, because you expect the path to come down, and then from there, you're able to find a way to use Arc Star if you are able to top deck that. Right now, of course, if Tyler finds Arceus V Star, it's a dead card because Caden's just simply got path. Yeah, so I really haven't been too big of a fan of the way Tyler's been playing this matchup. Not that Tyler's hands haven't been very awkward, but I mean, so have Caden's. So I kind of don't think it's an excuse. But of course, just gonna top deck the research. We definitely take those. But yeah, here we go. We whiffed the Magnum Basin. We have Magnum Basin in hand. This would have been a lot better, but not an option here. Still, though, I think we are able to launch an attack with an Arceus V-Star. That should be an Ultra Ball. Yep. So this isn't bad by any means. You're still fine here, as Tyler. Simply hit the Tina with your Arceus, power up the Ray, and you're chilling, right? You're surely just chilling here. Yeah. So it's going to be a pass over, or not a pass, an attack over to Caden. Now, what do you do with Caden? Caden, of course, still drawing pretty awkwardly. I do see two boss in the hand. Couple of jet energies. Gonna have to be into the Comfy. We need to hit 7 at the bare minimum. Don't see. Now there is a gate. Maybe a Colorless here. Okay, and the reason to use jet before Colorless if we're not going to selecting before Colorless, but it's kind of whatever. Just a minor missequence. It's gonna be the Mirage Gate, the VIP hitting the Lost Zone, and then what? We have V-Star. We have Gate, we have Rod. So we should by all means just be knocking out this active. Yeah, we should always just knock out the active. Punish Tyler's poor setup, right? Like there's not a lot going on Tyler's board. You can very easily punish this. And I'm expecting Caden to do just that. Yeah. Very, very thin deck for this point in the game as well, but I guess it happens when you have been seeking 2 times. Okay. Getting rid of the path in favor of the Mirage Gate seems fine, since you have just gotten rid of Mirage Gate and also have used one, so simply going to have to be the Tina V-Star here, or we're just going to Gate here. Okay, interesting. I don't hate this necessarily. But yeah, putting energies on a damage unit doesn't feel that good, but it kind of is what it is. I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think it's that bad of a misplay. But keep the gate around wouldn't have been terrible, because if the bench char cadet doesn't evolve, you could actually go boss Armor Rouge, use Radiant Greninja, and because you're hitting the active Armor Rouge for weakness, you'd be able to wipe both Armor Rouge pieces off the board, which could be quite impactful. So yeah, it's interesting, and we are gonna lost them both off of active, and we're gonna hit with the damage Tina V-Star. I don't know that I really agree with that. I'm gonna guess you're kind of saying like Tyler's only attacker is the Ray, except it's just not. It's just not only the Ray. Yeah. So. Second Arm Rouge, Arc, of course, definitely hits the board here. We do have Basin, we do have the Nest Ball, so I think we're going to realize here that the Heatran is prized, which is really, really, really unfortunate. Would have been an amazing piece to have here, so I think we're probably just grabbing Delphox. Eyeing up the Mew. I'd really like to see the Delphox, but I guess the Mew is fine. Not that I think your Delphoxing this turn. I think attack with this Arm Rouge is definitely correct, but yeah. It's weird. It's quite awkward. We're going to see a Nest Ball for not a Nest Ball, an Ultra Ball, away Nest Ball, and Narcissus V-Star for the Rayquaza VMAX. Yeah, so this is fine. We're just going to draw for the deck actually as Tyler, so I don't hate this too much. Because the last card in hand should just be the Basin. Of course, no reason to Basin now, but I guess it's whatever. Okay, going to be a Mew restart. I think it is a boss in hand, as well as... I'm not sure what else there is, but we are opting not to use the Ray here. Oh, wait, do we? Oh, I guess the Ray had 2 energies. Okay, yeah, never mind. For whatever reason, I thought the Ray only had 1 energy, so... Yeah, we're going to knock it out with the Armarouge. Okay, and now we're going into Caden's turn here. So, as Tyler, your win con from here on out is really, really scuffed. The problem is that, like, theoretically you go 2-2, right? You go knock out Giratina, and then you go knock out 2 Comfeys, right? Either with Mew or with Delphox. The problem is that you just don't have the energies anymore to pull that off, right? You don't have the energies on the board. And even if this Basin sticks for the rest of the game, which frankly would be highly unusual, it's just really, really, really hard. Now you're also in a spot where the Tina V starts swinging. There is no attacker on the board besides the Mew. Oh, there we go. Who can one-shot the Tina? That's right. The Mew does exist. However, that Sableye on the bench plus the damage on those Armarouges are going to make it so that, I mean, even if you Iono as Tyler, it's not great. Your odds, that is, right? You have to Iono. There's not even remotely any question here. It's going to have to be go for the Iono. KO the Tina by copying, its attack, and just hope Caden doesn't find Psychic Energy, which I guess off of 1 card plus top deck isn't that likely. It's not like Psychic Energies haven't been used for Caden either. But yeah, it has to be the Iono here. I don't recall us being down very many Iono, but we're going for a boss? Really? Okay, so I'm gonna pause here for a second. This is fine if... No, this is never fine. No, this is actually never fine. Because, so basically, let's assume for a second that Tyler does not have access to Iono, right? Let's assume there's no Iono or Judge, right? There's no way to hand up Caden. You just have to hope Caden doesn't have an energy card, right? Basically, if you knock out the Tina, right, Caden wins via Psychic. If you go for this play, right, where you copy the Greninja, knock out 2 Comfey, or knock out Sableye Comfey, you lose the game if Tyler has any energy or any switch card, because you always lose to Tina, right? I guess Rope wouldn't count as any switch card, but still, yeah, this is just a straight up bad play from Tyler. Yeah, this is obviously we just jet. Yep. I mean, it just I'm assuming I do not recall seeing that many Ionos being played. Tyler might not have had an Iono, but I'd be very surprised if he didn't. I'd be very, very, very surprised if Tyler did not have Iono there. So frankly, that was just all kinds of throwing from Tyler there, which is unfortunate. So, unfortunate there, but whatever. 2 research, Palpet Prize, 3 energies, Path. It's weird, but not terrible. 7 minutes left on the clock, going to game 3. We're going to Ultra Ball away, Ultra Ball Choice Belt. Okay. Sure, I guess. It's weird. I mean, it depends on the rest of the hand. I haven't seen it. But those are 2 cards you're typically not exactly looking to Ultra Ball away here. I think I saw a Rayquaza VMAX, so that's our draw engine for next turn. Basin and Arceus V-Star. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so it's Basin, Small Path, and it's Arceus V-Star, Rayquaza VMAX. Okay, so this is completely fine as Tyler. This is exactly how I would have played it. Yeah, that 0 complaints about that one. Of course, getting rid of a choice belt feels bad, but it's completely fine in this scenario. Your hand is in a great spot to counter Caden's projected turn 1 line, right? So yeah, no complaints here. The only problem here is, of course, that I do not expect this game to finish, which is unfortunate because I feel like Tyler just kind of should have won game 2, but at the same time, I also feel like Tyler kind of should have like lost game 1, kind of based on a couple misplays and like the lack of attackers on the board. But oh well, regardless, we're gonna see Caden start his setup, right? Start using Greninja. I'm going to use the second flower selecting. Why? Oh, right, we had Tina active. Okay, cool. Yeah. Second flower selecting, half down. We've already used, we already attached return, so it's just going to be a pass. I don't know that I really want to see the Comfy being used there. At least the second one, right? I think if it's taking is fine, but if we didn't have any switch cards, then I guess it's okay. But yeah, regardless, bench the second RCSV seems fine to me. Tyler, of course, going to start with the Rayquaza. That's correct sequencing. See some cards, right? Are we Rayquaza gaming for Dortmund? Can't leak on the Twitch yet. Can't leak on the Twitch yet. But maybe. All right, yeah, it's gonna be the Starburst. First Starburst of the set for Tyler, which is funny, but yeah, it's gonna be the DT in the Switch. Pretty standard here. No supporters being played. It's quite interesting. So what are we looking at? A 3-card hand now for Tyler. I guess you have the energies on the Ray. I wouldn't have hated to see a research being played here for Tyler instead of DTE, right? But it's not terrible regardless. Caden still seemingly is getting rid of this Manaphy, not willing to acknowledge the existence of Delphox, which, I mean, should be punishing him. If this game got to finish, I can only imagine that Manaphy would punish, but regardless, it is what it is. We're going to see a switch cart, and it's going to be what? Half, of course. I think we have to Abyss Seeking. There was a Jet in hand, but I guess we just don't want to put the V-Star the V inactive. With 30 seconds left, I mean, it's kind of the only way this is ever going to end, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to power up this board. Tyler, of course, going to go to... it seems Tyler is turn 0, unfortunately. Right as he was about to enter a state where I guess Double Boss would have won him the game. But yeah, they just pass back and forth, and it ends in a tie. Unfortunate. I feel if either player would have played a little bit faster there, then Tyler would have at least been able to attempt to win there. Not that it was guaranteed, but regardless, Tyler really should have lost game 1. But oh well. Sorry, shouldn't have lost game 2. I should say. All right, well. That aside, yeah, so definitely a couple key mistakes were made there, but that's what we learned from, right? All right, so round number 7. Let's see what we got here. We're going to be looking at Kamel versus Christian Moreno. It's going to be Roaring Moon versus, I believe it's going to be Chien-Pao. This is a matchup that I was very surprised to put on stream because, frankly, it is one-sided as hell. Chien-Pao is not beating this. And anyone telling you otherwise is kind of delusional. Chien-Pao just did not beat Roaring Moon pretty much ever. So, yeah, it's a thing. But Christian, of course, going to start off with a prize check. I don't recall anything important in either player's prize cards, but we'll see if anything comes up. Going to be a Frigid Basket bench. Christian, I'm assuming, has prize check by now, so even more energies entering the hand. Pokestop being played. Yeah, just trying to advance the board here, but it's going to pass over to Kamal here. So very vulnerable setup. No VIP passes for Christian. Um, you kind of just have to say here, like, hope Kamal doesn't kill something, because either one of these Pokemon dying would be really, really bad for Christian here. Obviously, the Chien-Pao, you go down 2 prize cards immediately. But of course, with the Frigibasks, the problem quickly becomes that you cannot attack. Without that Excalibur in play, you're not doing anything. I do agree with the energy on the bench here, though, just to like pivot, assuming that the active does get knocked out. But yeah, let's see how this ends up. It's going to be a Trekking Shoes getting rid of the energy switch here for Kamal. It's going to be an Ultra Ball, get rid of a Pokestop, and an Emergency Jelly. Okay. Doesn't seem too bad. Going to be a Moltres being grabbed here. Moon hitting the bench, Sada being played. Okay, so not amazing for Kamal, but I mean certainly not terrible by any means. It's going to be an Ultra Ball in a hand. I think another Roaring Moon and a Dark, unless I'm mistaken. Okay, Dire Flame Wings. Dire Flame Wings. Energy Switch, attach, return. There's the rope. Yep, and this is the part where Christian Moreno should be packing up his cards. Because none of this matters anymore, right? None of this matters. Christian is not only going to lose the Frigibasks, but is also going to lose an additional 2 prize cards next turn. He's lucky, frankly, with that Chien-Pao. So yeah, not great for Christian. It's going to be a Morpeko hitting the bench. Seems fine to me. I think I would prefer to see the Mew V, or the Mew EX, sorry, but it doesn't matter too much. So Christian, going to try to find the line here. I frankly think just backing up and going to game 2, though. This should not, really ever turn into a real game. Gonna be a Nest Ball. Gonna be an Irida. I mean, we're setting up. That's great, I guess, but I mean, I don't think it matters. Also, God, I'm tired. I'm so tired. Wow. Yeah, I'm assuming that. Kamal did choose to discard the Pokestop, which I think is a misplay because you don't really care if Christian Moreno gets access to Pokestop. Christian, of course, is going to lack most ways of getting rid of a Pokestop, right? Of course, being Christian's own Pokestop, and as such, Kamal would have been able to not only guarantee a Pokestop for next turn, but also the Stadium discard to kill the Chien-Pao. So, a bit of a misplay there for Kamal, but obviously, I mean, if Kamal does have another Stadium here, it's fine. You have the V-Star, but having the V-Star for the Stadium doesn't feel exactly great. You also can just go Boss here. Boss is also completely fine, but it's going to be the Pokestop and the Iono. So that seems fine to me. Pokestop getting hit there. Not great, but I mean, Fitting is winning, so can't be too upset, I guess. Then I think it's just going to have to be, yeah, it's going to have to be a hit here onto the Chien-Pao. So Christian starting us off here with a Nest Ball for a Barrel. This is rough for Christian. I think you kind of have to keep Stadiums out of play, hit with Chien-Pao, or we could scoop. That is smarter and also should have happened a while ago, in my opinion. So, yeah, should be fine. Oh, that was the wrong button. I clicked High Squirtle. That's 0-0. Here we go. Okay.
So here are the prize cards. Let's take a look at those again. Why are they upside down for Kamal? Ninja prize, boss prize, double Chien-Pao prize. That's rough. Christian has no business winning this. Although I guess we can also play heavy ball in turn 1. That works just fine. Okay. We need to hit 2 Frigibacks, please. This time around, because if that doesn't happen, then Christian is having a very, very bad time. There's an Ultra Ball, so we are... Seems we're chilling, yep. Well, we're grabbing Greninja. Okay, I really hope we have another out to basic Pokemon in hand. Because if not, we have an S-Ball. We had an Ultra Ball, but we hit an S-Ball and VIP off of the concealed cards, so very good for Christian there. I think he's going to opt to hold the S-Ball, but regardless, it's fine. Alright, we're going to choose to use the S-Ball anyway. Gonna grab a second Bidoof. Yeah, I like this. It kind of rope-proofs you a lot. The debate to not playing the S-Ball is, of course, to have an out to Chien-Pao next turn, but let's see what Kamal's able to do here. It's going to be an Ultra Ball away, 2 Dark Energies, grabbing the Squawk, getting ready to do that thing that Roaring Moon does. Bench Moon, play Sada. Great start here. Let's see what we got. Energy Switch, sure. Energy, sure. Squawk, Moltres, sure. Third Moon being considered is going to be put down. I don't hate that necessarily. Going to be the Squawk being used here. There's a Forest Sealstone, so I mean, we do have a stadium if we need it. Seems like that is what is going to be used here. It's going to be the Forest Sealstone here. I think you see this Boris come out and you go, okay, cool, I guess I'm taking 2 prize cards. Yeah, so Town Store being the grab here. I'm going to grab the Ancient Booster Capsule. Yeah, seems fine. You put yourself, what, 90 now? Which isn't great, but like, at least it's like 1 more energy that the Chien-Pao has to discard to knock you out. You're still susceptible to Radiant Greninja. But it's better than not grabbing anything. Actually, oh wait, no, you're not fucking using French gouging, so this doesn't. Yeah, then it doesn't matter. I'm just tripping balls. Okay. The barrel off the bat for Christian. Gonna see if there is an Iono there. So, not an Iono, an Irida. So we are doing something. Gonna be a Chien-Pao and a Rare Candy. Of course, we have the backs in the hand, it seems. I saw a Counter Catcher as well as a Rod and an Ultra Ball. So, yeah, not terrible here for Christian. We're going to play the Ultra Ball. Okay. Interesting. So I think Christian opted to grab the Frigibacks instead of the Chien-Pao as a Ultra Ball fodder, just to see more cards. I guess you're digging for superior energy retrieval here, and we are going to find it, so it's going to get rewarded here. Yeah, and it's going to have to be, I'm assuming it's the Mew and the Squawk. Yep. Mew and Squawk. Alright, going into Kamal's turn. What do we have here? So already, I mean, this is pretty good for Christian. No 2 pressure in play means that Kamal is forced to take a 1 prize knockout. If you are able to Greninja again next turn, you are just ahead, straight up, right? Because you go to 2, and then Kamal would be at 3, and then go to 2 into your turn, where you would simply be able to close the game with Chien-Pao. So, okay, I mean, Christian making this work. Being able to play the game with just 1 prize in play is going to make this matchup very winnable for Christian. But this is really your only line as Chien-Pao, which frankly shouldn't have been possible in the first place because Kamal should have just, I mean, frankly, not put down the Mew. So, yeah, that's the thing. that's the line. All right, but yeah, the Mew should never hit the board in my opinion. But oh well. Gonna be the Rod back, just the energy, and the Greninja. Gonna be an Irida for the Greninja. Yeah, Ninja, fuck you. Alright. Canceling Glow and being grabbed here, I'm assuming just as like discard Father for the Superior Energy Retrieval in hand. Does seem to be the case. Energy, applying that, I guess. So it's just a thin as we use the barrel, so I guess that's fine. You could even bench the Chien-Pao here if you really wanted to. To like attempt to play around Iono.
Should be necessary though. God, I cannot wait to go to sleep. Yeah, with Tuba Barrel in play, I'm hard pressed to think that we actually have to play around an Iono here. Should be wholly unnecessary. Okay, gonna be the Superior Energy Retrieval. Again, to the Greninja. Keep the rest in hand, I think. I actually wouldn't hate seeing the rest attached, in all honesty, though. To like it back to Caliber, or even just like to Frigibask. Or even the barrel, actually. Just something that doesn't die. Just, again, to play around the potential Iono play. I guess keeping 2 means you guarantee that you can Shivery Chills for 2. Because they would be at the bottom of your deck. I don't know. Alright, let's see what we got here. Not a lot going on in Kamel's hand, it seems. We do have to get rid of this Greninja. And frankly, it really shouldn't be with the active. Yeah, so Kamel resists this too. Christian can KO with the backs. Yes, assuming the active Roman stays in the active, which is not. We're going to attack with a Moltres. Jelly hitting the board. Okay, what are we considering here for Kamel? Alright, just going to research here. No Iono. That's pretty rough. There's Chien-Pao and a Superior Energy Retrieval in hand, plus a couple energies, so this game is all but over. Kamel, just hoping that, yeah, and Christian's just going to show everything, and we're going to go to a game number 3. So well played from Christian, actually. Really, really well played to put himself in that spot. Since this matchup is very, very unfavorable, but that is the line. That is kind of what you have to go for, and it did pay off this time as Christian. So we're gonna go into game 3, see what happens here. Again, double Chien-Pao prize. That's crazy. And again, Christian has heavy ball in the opening hand. Okay, so that is some interesting shuffling. Is what I'll say. Interesting that happened. It seems like Kamel must have mulliganed a couple times though, because Christian's hand size is quite large. Those roll Moon Guardian income popularity just Maridon text. What popularity is just Maridon tact with Cobalion propaganda? Do we agree? Like, as in, are we playing Maridon with Cobalion? No, we're not, because that seems bad. I just think Maridon is bad. Not because it's bad in the meta, but because the deck is bad. Because Generator is a fucking lie. People call Roxanne a lie, dude. Generator is the real lie. It's the original lie. Alright, yeah, anyway. I want to see a Pokestop from Christian. Hits double Irida. Yikes. And let's see what we got here. It's gonna be Chien-Pao on the bench. I only see one Frigibax though, so I mean, if Kamel is able to, you know, pull off some shenanigans, this could get real bad for Christian. Not sure Kamal does play the Pokemon catchers, but we have seen most other Moon players play them, so it would be expected at this point. Alright, let's see what we got here. It'll be a Squawk into a Battle VIP pass. I think Kamal's gonna check the price, but it's gonna be Greninja here. Second running moon. Sorry, I had to check something. Okay. Pokestop being hit here. Not terrible for Kamal, but sure not great regardless. The boss being grabbed off of those trekking shoes. I don't think we've seen this border yet from Kamal. Is there a way we make this work? It's gonna be the concealed cards. Dark Roaring Moon. It's not changing anything. So it is gonna have to be. Pause. Okay. Here's the hand. No. Here's the hand. Okay. We have boss. We have energy. We have energy and discard. We haven't used V-Star. Kamal can literally just go V-Star for Dark Patch to Moon, attach to Moon. Oh no, wait, have we attached this game? I guess we'll see if Kamal. No, because we can do we can kill it with Morpeko. No, it was no, we should attach to Morpeko. Okay, I don't think Kamal's attached from hand, but I mean I guess if he has then this is optimal, but energy was from Dark Patch? Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah, so Kamal had knockout on the Frigibax. So this is just bad. Right? Like this is just bad. Because you could literally just have killed the Frigibax, fuck with Morpeko even. And would have just won. Yeah. So this is kind of like, I mean, like it's not like the game ends, right? But, like you're still very much, I mean, you know, like the thing is like Christian should no longer be in this game. Christian's chances of winning this game should be gone. But they're not because Kamal forgot he could use boss on turn 1. So yeah, highly questionable there. I'm assuming it's just a blunder. I'm assuming Kamal just missed it in the heat of the moment, which isn't really unreasonable. However, Christian's hand seems to be kind of shit. We're putting 180 on the active. That is just not the amount of damage that's supposed to be on there. There's supposed to be 30 less. So if we could get the judges to do their job and fix that, that'd be great. Okay, gonna be an Ultra Ball being played here for Kamal. I don't see anything we really want. We have the boss. We can still just again boss the Baxcalibur. Yep, there's the Forest Seal Stone. This has to be for a stadium though, surely, right? Yeah, it was for the Pokestop. So we have Pokestop, we have boss. I'm gonna keep that. That seems good to me. Dark Patch is going to be played. Yeah, I want to see this boss. I want to see this boss being played. I really don't care what else we're doing as long as we're like I want to see Kamal boss. We're not boss. Why are we not bossing? Why are we not just preventing Christian from playing Pokemon? I mean, not that it matters because Christian's hand is like fucking unplayable, but I mean, regardless of the quality of Christian's hand, Kamal should just ended it, right? But whatever. Because it doesn't matter. You win regardless, right? Alright, let's see what we've got here. We've got another kitchen member. We've got Sawyer Melvin, pretty good player, versus Rowan Steanoff, another really good player. Damn, that's crazy. So many good players. No, I love both Rowan and Sawyer. No, Sawyer a fair bit better, but I'm pretty well acquainted with Rowan at this point. So, yeah, both of them great guys, great players. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, so it's gonna be some Guardy versus Lost Box Kyogre with the Mawile. So pretty much a mirror or like the same matchup as the finals. However, Sawyer opting for this Paradox package instead of stuff like the Dragonite. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But we're gonna see a Pokestop off the bat for nothing, and an attached pass from Sawyer. All right, that's so fun. This is at 6-1 as well. Alright, so Rowan about to pull out the notebook. Yeah, I do not care, bro. Okay. Concealed cards could be used here. 2 balls being grabbed. Nest Ball and Level Ball. Nest Ball is interesting. So it's going to be a top deck for Sawyer. And Sawyer is kind of just in this weird spot where it's like, well, I have the Mawile. Do I have to play Pokemon? You still don't know if Rowan plays Turo. Fuck, I don't know if Rowan plays Turo, right? I mean, as Sawyer, I think what you're doing here, frankly, is you're just Mawiling and chilling, until, yeah, you're just Mawile and chilling until, Rowan plays this Turo. Either plays the Turo or scoops up his cards. He does play the Turo? Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I assumed so, right? But yeah. You still want to force that out of Sawyer. I think what you do as Sawyer here is you just sit here and you like chill. But I guess the problem here is that with the Turo, Rowan simply just doesn't rebench it, doesn't bench Manaphy, doesn't bench Jirachi. It sets up a perfect board. And it actually kind of like, yeah, it would kind of be like weird. I don't know. If he doesn't, alarm bells would definitely ring to get Ninja out of the active ASAP. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's true. I think though, like once it's down, it kind of doesn't matter if you don't play the Turo because it's not like Sawyer isn't going to try to put it back up there. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I'm assuming Sawyer. We know Sawyer plays the Roaring Moon. I'm assuming Sawyer also does play the Iron Hands. I would of course expect that to be the case. Cresselia bench here and then Anayono. Alright. Seems legit. Let's see what we got here. A whole lot of nothing for Sawyer Melvin here. Not great. Not a lot. Okay. So that was Greninja. Now we're going to see the Curlius starting to get used here, and it's probably going to be a pass over to Sawyer. Could be a Manaphy bench. Ooh, okay. Okay. Well, so now, unless Rowan plays Palpad, which would be surprising, because Palpad's not exactly, great. Yeah, this is interesting. I feel like Sawyer at this point, like, kind of just says like I win the game on Mawile, right? You don't need to do other stuff. So I quite frankly don't really know why as Rowan we are we're putting down this Manaphy. I mean I know why, right? Like you obviously want to you want to make it so that you don't just lose to Greninja here, right? Obviously, what Sawyer was trying to do before is go keep the Greninja in the active until you can set up your own Greninja, which is going to result in what's it called? Sorry, taking 2 prize cards off of 2 Curlias. Collapse. Collapse is a good point. Collapse is a good point. Collapse like kind of ruins win con now. But it seems overly risky to me. Like you're now trying to hit two different one tries or one ofs before you get to play the game. Which shouldn't really be necessary, honestly. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see Rowan do Guardy stuff. There's not really much for me to comment on there. I'll be honest with you. What Rowan does until this Greninja goes out of the active doesn't matter too much, as long as the board isn't like completely fucked, but it's not. So yeah. Not much I would worry about here. Sawyer is going to start using these Comfies. I'm assuming it's still going to end the turn with the Mawile. Would make the most sense. But we'll see. We have Flower Select the Bait. I think it's a Rod and a Colorless. I'm going to opt to get rid of the Rod. 2 rods down in the lost zone here, so not great. Surely we didn't need the Colorless that bad. I guess we might have. Definitely very interesting. Yeah, it's going to be back into the Mawile with a switch, and then it's going to go back over to Rowan. So, what now? We're still digging for the Turo, the elusive Turo. Hoping it pops up soon. Turo has to be combined with a Collapsed Stadium, though, right? It just has to at this point. Because if it doesn't, then it doesn't matter, right? Like Sawyer just bosses or counter catchers or whatever's back the Manaphy, and the game ends. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. Because it's really like just not a normal game of Pokemon at this point, right? No one's attacking with like real attacks, and yeah, it's really just all on like Rowan to have the resources. Also, if Rowan prized either Turo or Collapse, this game would end on the spot, which is worth noting for sure. Missing something here. Sorry, I'm looking for stuff right now. I'm trying to multitask, and I'm frankly not exactly known for my ability to do that yet. Turo in hand, but we need to see the Collapse at the same time. So there's the Turo. And I believe we just got rid of the... I believe we just got rid of the Greninja off of the... I cannot speak. Off of the Curlia. There we go. Yeah, so that seems reasonable to me. It seems good to me. And now back over to Sawyer. Of course, Rowan having finally launched an attack this game. It'll be interesting to see how Sawyer goes about this. Because I think as Sawyer, right, like your game plan here is just trap the Manaphy and win the game, right? I feel like that's just the line. Because if that doesn't work, now then you're playing from behind against Gardevoir. And while sure, I mean, the Manaphy isn't going to be there, you can obviously use Greninja this turn. It's not exactly great, right? Like, you're not really keeping in this game. Also, Greninja this turn doesn't do anything because of the what's it called? The lack of a 90 HP Pokemon, but or in the Manaphy, of course. But why was the sorry, I missed that. Why the fuck was the Mawile lost zoned? Colorless? Are we just deciding we don't want a Mawile? Or do we only play one boss as Sawyer? Because if Sawyer only plays one boss, then yeah, this is kind of shit. But frankly, if Sawyer only plays one boss, then Yeah, I would have liked to see, I'd like to see this done differently. But oh well. Now Sawyer's just in the losing spot, right? Like if you're gonna trap that Greninja for so long, there has to be a purpose, right? And the purpose here has to be. Oh, he plays double Mawile? Really? That's not the list I was sent. Then again, I haven't looked at the one he posted on Twitter, to be fair. It is double Mawile, yeah. That's not the list he posted in the Discord. Oh well. Anyway, okay, yeah, so I guess that works. In case Stardust, yeah, I feel like Zard has no business running Lost City, but I mean, Joe played Lost City, right? And it's not like Joe and Sawyer didn't know what each other were playing. But yeah, I still want to see this. I want to see the Manaphy put in the active as fast as possible before it gets Collapse Stadiumed away. Ideally for Rowan, the turn to Collapse Stadium is the turn. Oh, Rowan plays Palpad. Oh, okay. Okay, so never mind then. I mean, I guess, okay, the Palpad is prized, but Sawyer obviously doesn't know that. But Sawyer also shouldn't know that Rowan plays Palpad. But I guess if Sawyer does know that, then Sawyer's line of thinking in this matchup changes a lot, right? Because you kind of then go like, well, okay, I have to race. Which Sawyer doesn't have to race. Because we know the Palpad's gone. Or the Palpad's in the prizes, right? But Sawyer obviously doesn't know that. Interesting. I think it's the information warfare in this matchup that gets so interesting, right? Because like if you know what counts of certain cards your opponent is playing, this matchup gets a lot easier. But I mean, how are you supposed to know that, right? So it's really just about like a guessing game of like what your opponent does and doesn't play. But that's super interesting to me. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, anyway, it's going to be the Iono being played here. Rowan has basically 0 cards in deck. Of course, just enough to stay in the game. There's the Collapse. It's getting rid of the Manaphy. Not playing into this Mawile, and Sawyer is just going to simply scoop up his cards. So, seems fine. I guess that's kind of what you have to do, right? Realizing that game is just not ever going to go his way. And yeah, back into game 2. I think I missed the first bit there, but I don't think it matters. Rowan didn't do anything special. Sawyer is currently not doing anything special. The only difference is, of course, that there is, once again, a non-psychic Pokemon in the active. So it's quite interesting to see if Sawyer's just going to go for the same strategy. I mean, he might, right? But it seems like that isn't the case. I think, yeah, Rowan is playing Pokemon. Yeah, gonna be the Fog Crystal, and then Ultra Ball. Oh, I guess we're going. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, nah, this is fine. I actually like this quite a lot. This, like, all of a sudden, because Sawyer didn't do anything last turn, this just becomes, like, a terrible game for Sawyer. Where you're kind of forced into the same play as you were last game, right? Like, you kind of have to go for the catcher, or not the catcher, the Gust onto the Manaphy into... It would have to be... well, sorry, the Mawile. God, I'm so out of it. Wow. I'm feeling the effects of Monday. Holy shit. I've been so out of it all day. Which I guess that's kind of just what happens when you sit here and talk into the void for several hours on end. Um, all right. Regardless, Sawyer is going to do the things with the flowers, and it has to be a Cramorant here, man. It has to be. It has to be the Cramorant. It's gonna be the Mirage Gate. Okay. Are we just? Do we just not have energies? Are we just not always putting water on? What? Sawyer, what are we doing? Surely it's just always psychic active water bench, right? We can also do like energy to 2 Comfies, I guess. This makes no sense. This makes no sense. There's no reason this psychic energy shouldn't be on on a Comfy at least, right? You put it on a Comfy, like if your goal is to discard it, then done, right? You simply retreat the Comfy. If your goal is to retreat the Cram next turn and then switch back into the Cram, then you do that because again you just have the energy on the Comfy. Yeah, no, it's thinning. It's thinning for Kyogre, but it's the Psychic should never go on the Cram, right? It should always be on a Comfy. Or you could have the water on the Greninja, would have been like kind of fine too. But this is just. I mean, okay, I guess because of the Cresselia, this works. Because Rowan always targets down the okay, I guess that's fine. Right? Like, because Rowan always targets down the Cresselia that has the Sableye that has the energy. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's fine then. I guess. We have flower selecting Sawyer. There's the Sable. There we go. There's the Sable guy. We already attached. I really hope Sawyer knows that. Not attached. We already retreated. There we go. And let's see here. Palpad. Double Colorless. Okay. All right. All right. Where do we put this? I kind of like killing Manaphy. But it seems like it's going to be a Curlia. That works too. 40 the Gardevoir. Seems good. Going 20-20 never matters, so it's 40 somewhere. Be a level ball whiff for Rowan. Yep, it's just going to be the Iono. Sawyer going to quickly memorize the hand. Cut from the Iono. I guess the hand was bigger than the deck, so it seems fine to me. Alright, I'm going to be the Rod. I'm going to be the Nest Ball for the Ralts. I'm going to put that back down. Keep up the attackers for Rowan. And now what? Attach, retreat, Cresselia. Yeah, seems absolutely fine to me. Attach. You have the damage on the Gardevoir and the Gardevoir, 2 Gardevoirs to keep that up. So, yeah, seems good to me. Colorless could be played for Sawyer. For what? Okay. We'll get rid of a Chorus and a Rod. We'll switch Nest Ball and something else. Okay, not the worst off the gear. I'm really curious, like, Sawyer's win con here. Because it's not looking great. Also, like, the timer, exists. Frankly, I would have liked to see Sawyer scoop a lot earlier in game 1. Yeah. Double Sableye being played is actually kind of interesting. That I do remember. I think I saw something about that. Not as active in the kitchen Discord as I probably should be. Anyway, yeah, so let's see here. It's going to be the switch. Going to preserve the energy on the Comfy. I guess that's fine. And then we're going to knock out the Curlia. And we're going to put 40 on the Cresselia. I guess that is okay. At this point, it really doesn't matter where the damage goes. I would have hated to see the damage go on to the Gardevoir that already had the damage. You kind of try to like keep putting damage on that because now it's going to get fully healed. Whereas otherwise, you would have been able to you would have been able to, I guess, like prevent it from fully healing itself. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Rowan just gonna keep up the Cresselia game. Keep harassing these Sableye. It's really all you can do here. Because eventually, you're just gonna put the EX in the active, and you're kind of just gonna go say to Sawyer like, "Hey, what can you do?" Although to be fair, with 3 prize cards left for Sawyer, there's plenty of targets on this board. That's kind of why I would have really liked to see the damage go on to the Gardevoir last turn instead of the Cresselia, but alas, it is what it is. I'm fairly certain we are in Sawyer's. No, we're in Rowan's turn. Yeah, we're in Rowan's turn here. I mean, I guess we're trying to spit the Cresselia here. Or we could also go hit the Cresselia with Sable and have 20 somewhere else. But, like, there's no reason to have put the damage on the Cresselia. I guess we're trying to keep putting damage on the Cresselia. Wait, what did we knock out? Ralts? Damage on Crest feels a bit off. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well. And also, I don't think they put enough damage on the board. There should, yeah, 20 damage is missing from that Sableye. Unless Sawyer, for whatever reason, decided about 100 damage on a Curlia. Yeah, they're catching it. There we go. Okay, cool. Yep. But yeah, I agree that like pressuring this Cresselia feels wrong. Yeah. It feels a bit off. There's the Zacian coming down. There's the Iono. So I guess, I mean, as long as there's a little bit of pressure on the Cresselia, I actually don't hate it. Just to have, like, it as a, you know, cram knockout response, but yeah, okay. So here, 3-card hand, Comfy active, very thin deck. What is the line? I have to take 2 more knockouts. There's going to be a Colorless off of the Pokegear. I don't really know what Sawyer plays that would let him do stuff here. I mean, I guess you could spit at... You could go spit at Gardevoir and then Sableye for game. But then you lose to, Then you lose to Turo. Unless we're saying... What? Did Sora scoop? Okay, Sora's using Chorus. Sora scooped. Wait, but this is... What? Okay, now we're on replay. What? They didn't show the part where Sawyer scooped or packed up his cards or why he did so. Production, hello. You can't let shit like this happen. You just can't. We didn't see Sawyer scoop. We didn't see like what? Okay. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, well that was it. Except they didn't show us the part where Sawyer fucking conceded, or why he conceded. They just cut to the fucking replay and then we see Sawyer's deck in his hands. The hell? Jesus Christ. Okay. Not gonna look at that too much. All right. That's the second fucking production mishap we've seen. We've seen today. So thank you thank you production. Okay. So I'm gonna ignore that for a second. Okay. Sean versus Alec Geisler on the round 9 win. Alec playing Colorless Lugia, a bit of a Colorless Lugia connoisseur, one would say. I actually lost my win-in for top 32 in San Antonio to Alec because game 1 I went draw pass, and then game 2 Alec goes, I play Iron Hand, and I went, damn, I can't set up a Radzard, and then I lost. But no, Alec's cool. Trust me, Lugia is a dead deck. Alec is like the only fucking person on this deck. Which to be fair, Alec has been making it work. But there are, you have to choose to take some bad matchups with this deck. It is not a meta deck. And it will not be treated as such. But regardless, it's viable, right? So yeah, we're gonna go into this. Alec gonna start us off with a Capturing Aroma and a prize check, and that one European guy, but I forgot his name. 2 chops, 1 ball. Do not ever call it 2 chops, 1 ball again. Attacks are gonna. Okay. So I think we put 1 tails, 1 heads. I guess this was a Lumen and an Archeops. This wasn't Alex's hands. Okay, why are we using Lumen? What? Iron Hands in hands, Iron Hands in hand, Chops in hands, Goza in hand. I think it's a Nest Ball. Okay, well, why are we using Fish now? Are we playing around Spiritomb? Yeah, we have to be playing around Spiritomb, but I don't know if it's necessary here. Yeah, I guess it's fine. There's a path. Oh, we're playing around path. Herder. Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, so heads up. No, well, no, you have Mesa Goes in hand, so never mind. Okay, there's going to be another catch from. There's a Cabalion. That's a dead card in this matchup. There's a Goza for a Tails, but we do have the Ultra Ball, so that is going to be... Really? Do we have a Chops in hand? Yeah, I know we have Research. Do we have Chops in hand? Because if we don't have Chops in hand, then this is... No, we do not have Chops in hand. Why are we not grabbing... Why are we not grabbing, Okay, he hits it regardless, but why are we not grabbing Archeops off of the Ultra Ball, researching, and then finding Lugia V-Star? That's a lot more likely. The DTE attach? I guess. I'm less concerned about that. I wouldn't have hated to see the... I think I would have preferred to see the DTE to the Iron Hands, but... I mean, considering the way Alex played it, you're playing with a board that doesn't guarantee. You're playing with a board that doesn't guarantee that you get 2 Archeops, in which case the DT is correct. However, you should be playing with a board that guarantees 2 Archeops, in which case the DTE should have gone to the Iron Hands. So, yeah, it's a bit weird. And the Radzard, getting rid of that is also like not great in this matchup. That card is pretty damn good against Tina. But anyway, there is the Summoning Star. I grab some energies. I think it's definitely V-Guard Gift. Yeah, it's active, and then V-Guard DTE to Iron Hands. Seems good. He knows not kill Tina next turn now. Yeah, exactly. Oh, we're just going for hands this turn, though. Oh, never mind. No, this is fine. Yeah, you get rid of DTE, and you're chilling. Yeah, and Sean didn't do anything. Okay, yeah. So Alec is chilling. Oh, is this the plan from the beginning, then? Am I giving Alec too much shit? Because you have energy on Iron Hands. You go attach return DTE active. You guarantee the 1 Arceus because you grab the V-Star. And then you can go DTE gifts and hit with hands. And then retreat. Yeah, okay, so this... Oh, no, never mind. So yeah, Alec actually played this correctly. Damn. I'm sorry, Alec. I gave you too much shit. No, that's correct. Actually, Alec played that, yeah, 100% correctly. Because what did Sean do? Sean went flower selecting pass, right? Or was there a Colorless played? How many were in Lost Zone? Yeah, there was 1 card in Sean's Lost Zone. Yeah, so Alec played that correctly. Chat, we're just fucking stupid. Oh, God. Okay, yeah. Oh, I am gonna catch... Okay, never mind. Chat. We can give Alex shit. He's pile shuffling. Motherfucker's pile shuffling. Look at that. You see that? Pile shuffling in between games. Not okay. I take everything back. Alec is clearly shit at the game. Alright. Prize cards for game 2 going out. Double Jet, Cram, Burnett. Could matter, could not matter. We'll see. Alright, well, regardless, Sean is playing Pokemon now. How long is this game? I'm trying to figure out if... Alright, this game will go long. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if I want to cover the first round of day 2 today, or if I want to wait till tomorrow. Because I can't really go overtime today, unfortunately. I can go overtime tomorrow, though, if I need to. So, like, I could probably start... I could start round 10, or I guess it would be round 13 today, but I wouldn't be able to finish it probably unless it's like really fast. So I'll probably end the stream after this game is the idea. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we're just gonna see some pretty basic Tina shenanigans from Sean. Oh, that didn't just hit my desk. Okay, yeah, double Tina seems good. Of course, retreating to Comfy, get the last selecting out there. And then what? Maybe grass getting rid of. Couldn't really catch what the last card was, but it's just going to be a pass of turn over to Alec. That path is now in play, so let's see what the Great Ball can find. There's a couple options, Lumen and Pumpkaboo being the main ones. If we need the Pumpkaboo, we need the Pumpkaboo. I'm actually not a big fan of Pumpkaboo in Colorless Lugia. Primary reason being that your main use case for it is against Tina. But against Tina, what's it called? Against Tina, if you bench the Pumpkaboo, you just gotta lose to Stabilize, so... regardless, really interesting though, Alec is going to opt to grab the Drapion, but I guess it is for this Ultra Ball play. Just to discard it, just to thin it. So I guess that does make a certain amount of sense here. Alec gonna go through with the prize check. I'm gonna be an Earthen Vessel to get rid of this second Archeops. So there we go, we are getting there. I'm gonna attach the Fire Energy to the Lugia. Look at that, guys. Basic Energy in Lugia. Never would have thought, huh? Never would have thought. Okay.
So what we got? We got an Iono, we got a Lugia V, we got a Lightning Energy. Yeah, so it's gonna be the Iono for Alec. Wait, did we shuffle? Yeah, we did shuffle. Okay, I'm just tripping balls. Alright, so what we got here? We're gonna see Great Ball for Pumpkaboo, it seems. Didn't catch what else was in the Great Ball, but I don't think it matters too much. So I think it's probably just gonna be like a Read the Wind, and then you have the Pumpkaboo in case another path comes down. Seems to be the line here. Seems like a good one to be. Yeah, dish to DTE. Not great, but I mean, it's probably worse cards to get rid of, right? Alright. Whoa. Colorless off the bat here for Sean. Okay. Can't see the Lost Zone, so it's kind of can't really comment on if I think this is good or not, because I don't know what Sean is getting rid of. Okay, that's gonna be the Mesa Gosa. Did it roll? It landed very easily, that's for sure. This should still be a legal flip. I think it rolled plenty in the air. All right, we're gonna see the Tina V Star. Hitting the hand here. Obviously, really good grab off of that Mesa Gosa. All right, gonna be a conceal cards. Jet Energy. Still can't tell what's in there. I think it's a Water Energy Keep. I saw that this time. Don't know what the item card getting rid of there. I know it's an item because of the blue box, but still not sure. Not sure we're getting rid of. That's also an item. Still don't know what it is. Okay, there we go. Escape Rope, Switch Card, Colorless, VIP. Okay, interesting. Honestly, I mean, I could slow down and try to catch this, but I really don't think the slowing down the pace of the video speed, I should say, will change anything. It's kind of hard when I can't see see Sean's Lost Zone. Regardless, though, the goal kind of remains the same. We're at 7 here. We're trying to power up this Tina. We're trying to punch this Lugia very, very, very hard. What's going on? What's going on with this card? Is that a mystery card? Wait, what? Okay, I want to actually, let's go back and catch this. So, looking for the deck. This is the deck, right? That is a Grass Energy from Sean's hand. Oh, Sean's about to put it into the deck. Okay. Okay, and Sean goes, that was in my hand, which we know was in Sean's hand. Obviously, Alec is, gonna ask the judges to catch a replay of that. We just got the replay, so we obviously know it's from the hand. So let's skip past the ruling here. But I don't think it's going to be anything. That Grass Energy should just be returned to the hand. Hello? It's in the hand, right? It is in the hand, yeah, okay. Although looking at Sean's hand, if that Grass Energy was in deck, Sean would have been able to attack with a Tina this turn. I know someone talked about this on Twitter already. Actually, I think it was John. I think John Wangard talked about this on Twitter already. That's obviously very suspicious, right? That Grass Energy that's in the hand was all of a sudden confused with a card in the deck. To be able to use, because if that Grass was in deck, then Mirage Gate would have been able to let Sean kill the active Lugia. But wait, no, that doesn't make sense. What the fuck? No, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, because we already used
we've already used Jet this turn. Right, okay, we already used Jet. Never mind. Yeah. So the grass has to be from the... Yeah, the grass has to be from the Mirage Gate. So... I'm gonna give Sean the benefit of the doubt there, but that was definitely suspicious. But regardless of that, back over to Alec here. Just going to do the Lugia thing that the Lugia does, and is going to commit murder on to the Comfies. Let's see here. A couple different options. As far as what to hit, I don't think Alec has used up a supporter yet. Just might have a boss. There's the Iron Hands. Yep. So if we are able to find a lightning energy, we would be able to attack with the Iron Hands. Although now with two Arceus played, we haven't attached from hand yet. It's gonna be it's gonna be the gifts and it's gonna be the boss. Okay, so this seems fine. This seems like the best way to handle it for me. You go up 2 prize cards to establish the Iron Hands. You put yourself in an extremely good position. Thanks to that V guard, you're kind of forcing the V-Star power from Sean, of course targeting the one with the Psychic. Now there's a water stuck on the Tina, which is doing very, very little. Alright, so what do we got here? Flower selecting for what? Flower selecting what? What are we trying to do here as Sean? I think as Sean here, like the #1 goal has to be to kill this Lugia. If you're not killing anything this turn, you're losing the game. Killing bench Lugia V is fine too. Although you're going for Iron Hands then for sure. You're proccing Gift Energy, but like if it means getting rid of the Iron Hands, it's definitely worth it. I guess if you go boss kill Iron Hands with Tina, Alec kind of doesn't have a great response to the board. There are a couple of lines that are interesting. You could go like Mew to copy Greninja to kill 2 Comfy. You could go... what's it called? Yeah, you could go and say... I'm losing track here. Mew in general, I think is just a plan here, actually. Yeah, it has to be a Mew, then you're trading, but if you're trading, then you're ahead on the trade. Deck doesn't really play weird here anymore. This is incredibly interesting. We know we have the grass. We know we have the V-Star. Minor gripe here with how Sean's played. Actually, two issues here. #1, last turn, Sean should have absolutely evolved the Tina that had the Psychic, right? Forcing Alex boss play to be on the wood with the water. That would have been more energy efficient. The second is that this Tina V on the bench should not be here. It has no business being here because you are giving Alec more lines to win this game. Yeah, through this, what's it called? Through the boss's order, right? You can go boss kill Tina into Mew kill active Tina for game, or vice versa, right? You're just giving, you're giving Alec more chances that you don't need to give him, right? But yeah, it's going to be immediately the Mew being eyed up here. Although only 2 special energies in deck, it seems. So this could get sketchy. I think there's a lightning still. No, there's 2 DTEs. Okay, there's 2 DTEs, but the DTEs mean we aren't killing with Mew. DT to bench Lugia. I guess it's probably just for a pivot. We have the lightning in hand, so I think we're going lightning to the Mew. Yep. And then an Iono. Seems fine. Yeah, this seems really, really good actually for Alec. I'm actually super okay with this. Because now you go knockout active. Oh, right, you just get rid of the DTE. Aha. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, you get rid of DTE, and now Sean has to set up a Tina. So yeah, okay. So Sean should have definitely benched that Tina. So my mistake there. Sean should definitely bench that Tina. For this exact line that Alex is doing now. Because if that Tina wasn't in play, then the Mew can't die, and then Alec goes, haha, boss's order Greninja, yoink. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. But yeah, Sean still needs a lot regardless, right? That Iono putting Sean to 5 after top deck. Certainly not an impossible hit, but it's certainly not a likely one either. So I'm not liking Sean's odds. Yeah, and even if we hit it as Sean, go down to 2. You haven't used V-Star. Yeah, I guess if Sean hits it, Sean just wins though, right? Like that's the downside to this play as Alec. By going for the Mew now, you're kind of saying like, if Sean has it, there's nothing you can really do to win this as Alec. Okay. There's Tina. There's Cart. Okay. No, I think it was what, 2 Tina V stars? Yikes. Concealed cards. See switch. What are we missing? We're missing gates? I can't tell what Sean's missing here. We need both gate and we need rod. We need gate rod. I see the psychic. Get rid of a Comfy. It shouldn't matter. There's a path to the peak. Attached to, now, are we just passing? I think it's just a pass here, yeah. Boss's order, game. Yeah. Well played from Alec. Really well played from Alec. Actually, Colorless Lugia is probably a lot more real right now than I really wanted to give it credit for. A couple things that are worth noting about Colorless Lugia's like matchup spread is that you just fold to Miraidon. There's no point in trying to counter Miraidon. And also Roaring Moon is a super sketchy matchup, so it's by no means tier 1, but I think the fact that the Miraidon hype is just completely non-existent at this point means that yeah, Colorless Lugia is a viable deck again. Alright, so we have, about 20 minutes left on today's stream. I'm really hungry, but I did say I would play, so I will play. Yeah, so let's go into round number 13. I guess we'll cover the meta breakdown as well while we're here. Or not. Okay, so yeah, first game of the day for day 2 is going to be Ian Robb playing Tina versus Ragnarotsov on Chien-Pao. Very interesting. Very interesting for sure. How are the prize cards? I don't think they were too bad, right? No. Greninja prized for Ian, but it's whatever. Yes, Reagan's going to prize check. Reagan is going to grab two energies off of the Chien-Pao. Nest Ball for Greninja. And then what now? I can hear my stomach. This will be fine. I'll hold out. Alright, concealed cards. We have a couple options here. Plenty of Ultra Ball, Singular Nest Ball. Probably debating like what we're getting rid of here off of the Ultra Ball. If we're even playing the Ultra Ball. Are we playing the Ultra Ball? I think we are. We are playing the Ultra Ball as Reagan. Yeah. Yeah, Bidoof seems like a good grab. This matchup seems really interesting to me. I can imagine this matchup is kind of good for Chien-Pao, but also not really at the same time because Path bad, Counter Catcher bad, Rock Sand when Counter Catcher played is bad. Yeah, it's weird. I really don't actually know how this matchup plays out. Not entirely sure what I feel about it, but I guess we're about to find out. There's gonna be a Colorless for Ian. I think there was a Tomb and a Water going away. We're going to Home Fadeaway Switch. Can't really see Ian's hand, but I'm assuming we're going to see a Path, and we're going to see... Nope, it's going to be a Pass. So Nova Seeking, probably the safer play. Leaving only one Comfy in play, of course, plays around the Greninja. I'm assuming Ian does not play a Manaphy. So yeah, this seems smart to me. Going to be an Iono. Played for Reagan here. Going to be Candy Backs, of course. Should be Tina Fair, Rock Temko. Yeah, that makes sense. That seems fine. I feel like Greninja kind of swings it though, but we'll see. Okay, gonna be a Earthen Vessel being played here. I'm so surprised there because every time I see Chien-Pao, I'm surprised why people would ever play the deck. Yeah, that too. Yeah, I went 1-1 against Chien-Pao in Liverpool, but the game I tied, I completely threw. That matchup's really, really good because Chien-Pao kind of bad. Ugly candies. I'm more so concerned about the mismatching arts and the fact that the candies are ugly, honestly. But enough about that. Reagan, gonna kind of hang out here. Ian, gonna hang out here. Spit innocently. There is a Manaphy being played for Ian. Ian is playing both the Manaphy and the Spiritomb. Definitely not common in Giratina nowadays, but regardless, okay, we're gonna see a Ultra Ball away double VIP pass for Reagan. No shortage of cards to get rid of here. It's gonna be a Spiritomb grabbed here, thinned out. I believe we will see. We will see what exactly. It'll be a superior energy retrieval here. Yep. Load up the Mons bib. Four cards here. I think that is double cross, which are in the hand. So with that Irida, with that superior energy retrieval, should be able to get there. I don't think Reagan has used Shivery Chills yet. But if not, then we can always just Irida for an Earthen Vessel. Oh, Path is in play, that's right. We cannot Shivery Chills. I forgot about that. We cannot Chills under Path. So I guess we're trying to go, like, Vacuum off the Iono, but if Reagan doesn't play Vacuum, then that's obviously a no-go. Yeah, dunk on Chien-Pao. It's so easy to dunk on Chien-Pao as well. Okay, but Reagan, regardless, a bit scuffed usage of the superior energy retrieval, but still able to pick up the knockout on the Vegetatina. Ian just simply responds with the Cram. Really not doing much here. I think Reagan this turn is probably just fine to just knock out the Cramorant. I think if you're able to go knock out Cram, bench another Chien-Pao, you're chilling, right? Because Ian's not going to hit 10. Ian's not going to be able to threaten the barrel. So I think the game plan here is simply just knock out Cram, get Iono'd, knock out the Tina that kind of has to be in the active, right? There's no way it's not. There's going to be concealed cards. Okay. Canceling Clone, not doing anything here. Irida in the hand. I don't think we've played a supporter yet for Reagan this turn. What are we missing? I would like to see this. I would really, really like to see this Frigibax evolve. Are we going for the? Are we going for double cross pitchers here? I don't think we have the resources for that. Yeah, I don't think we're able to do that. As a Reagan here. This would be the candy backs. I think we're just putting in the hand to have in the hand. Be a Pokestop being hit here, not the end of the world. Although actually, I'd like to have seen Shivery Chills before Pokestop. Alright, well, candy backs. Superior Energy Retrieval. I'm not a super big fan of having to use that this turn, but I guess it's whatever. We haven't used Shivery Chills yet. We can still do that. I'm hoping Regan remembers that exists. Okay, as we have another Superior in hand, it's not the end of the world for Regan. Seriously, no Shivery Chills? We should still have energy in the deck, so that's just weird. Unless we're trying to bluff Ian into making Ian think that we don't have energies, but in which case just using Shivery Chills and not grabbing anything would have been better, so it's weird, but regardless, this isn't looking particularly good for Ian. There's a Colorless, you know, quite a lot. There is a Superior Energy Retrieval in Reagan's hand. Do we have a Chien-Pao out, though, is the question. And I guess another energy. Emma, you missed the bread in the kitchen? Same. But it is what it is. Alright, Jet being played here. I'm not got the Chien-Pao. Reagan just has it, it seems. Bada bing. Bada boom. Yep. Ian scoops. And we go to game 2. So, this game does go fairly long. Okay, so this will be, okay, for real this time, this will be the last game of the day we cover. First of all, I need something to stream tomorrow. And second of all, I am very hungry. I would like to feed myself. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna go into game number 2. Spiritomb start for, wait, what the hell? Ian goes Tina Path Pass. Reagan goes Attached to Tomb, Pokestop, Nest Ball. Okay, so Reagan's doing something at least. Except I know this game goes to game 3, so what the fuck happens here? What's about to happen? We're gonna see a prize check, we're gonna see a Shivery Chills. Pokestop being used here. Gonna be an Ultra Ball. Getting the Greninja. A bit ballsy, assuming we have assuming we don't have the a way to set up here. Pokestop, nothing. What about Heavy Ball? Nope, gonna be a pass. Alright, that's the problem. There are no funny backs, guys. Cool, or Frigibacks, whatever. So Color's being used for Ian here. That's something. Can't see what Ian got rid of. I know that's. I can't even tell if it's a Psychic Energy. It could be a Psychic Pokemon, but it be the Abyss Seeking. Yeah, because fuck Comfy. I guess you're not in a hurry now because nothing's being threatened. Should just be an Arita from Reagan. I think there was one in the hand. Playing the Heavy Ball. Really hope there's not a Frigibax here. Nope, there is not. Okay. Should be fine. And I guess the reason that Reagan holds it is because you want to have like an Ultra Ball out. You want to have a card to discard off of your Ultra Ball or a Superior Energy Retrieval. So that makes sense. I guess the holding there isn't bad. Ian is so fast, yeah. We are playing on 2x speed, but Ian does play pretty fast. Reagan gonna burn the Cancyclone as well. I just gotta play the Iono here, so let's see what happens here.
throw Frigibacks. There was 2 Frigibacks and a Bidoof. Okay. Here we go. Reagan's playing Pokemon.
Reagan is playing Pokemon. All right. Let me pass over to Ian here. So, Colorless, once again, I think that's 2 VIP pass. So yeah, bye-bye. Cram in hand, Path in hand. Really just want to kill the Chien-Pao here. That's what we really want to do. Yeah, but to do that, we're gonna have to see some more cards, it seems. So. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Gonna be a concealed cards. I believe that was Jet, and it was Gate, so that's pretty good. Do we have a Comfy out? The answer is no. We do not have a Comfy out. Okay, well, rip. I think I really would have preferred to see the Nest Ball for the Comfy there from Ian. Yeah, because if I recall, there was plenty of switch cards in hand. So I kind of disagree with that play on Ian's end. But regardless, we're going to see the Irida played for Reagan. Has the candy, kind of eyeing up what else he wants. I think it's going to be the cross switcher here. Yeah. And the Excalibur. Alright, what now? We have 3 energies, 1 hand. So we are able to kill this Tina. Okay, so how does Reagan lose this? Okay. Here's the barrel. Gonna look at Ian's discard policy. A path gone already. I'm gonna opt to use the Pokestop here. Okay. And I think we're just swinging at this Giratina. I don't really know what else we would do here. Good cards off the Pokestop. Gonna be concealed cards for even more good cards. Yeah, I think we're just going to knock out the active. So how does Ian win this? Like, what's your win con as an Ian? Like, let's look at this from Ian's perspective. How are you winning this game? I guess Greninja's pretty good here. You kill Spiritomb, you kill Frigibax. Concealed cards, don't see much. There's a Rainbow Rare something. Can't tell what that is, though. Tina V, Mirage Gates. Okay. Alright. Jet. Pokestop. Boss. Okay, kill the barrel? Sure. So I guess the line is... yeah, you have Reagan take a knockout here, then you go Roxanne win. And then the Roxanne sticks because there's no barrel. That... I mean, I guess we have the Rod? The thing is, even if you get back to Bidoof here as Reagan, yeah, even if you get back to Bidoof, you have no guarantee that you'll be able to evolve it. So yeah, I think we're doing Ultra. Candy's interesting. Are we not able to go Candy back? So we just have another Candy. We might just have another Candy in hand. I don't see it though. I guess everything else is just Energy or Gusts. Or like a way to find the barrel for next turn. I guess, yeah. Energy Greninja. And knockout. Okay, there's another energy in Reagan's hand, but I'm assuming we're keeping that around for like ways to shivery chill next turn, but that doesn't seem necessary actually. Seems wholly unnecessary, if I'm being honest. Okay, gonna be the path, gonna be the counter catcher, gonna be the Roxanne. Okay. Interesting counter catcher line here. I guess it makes sense if you're trying to do like some Sableye shenanigans maybe. Greninja is also good. You can just kill the Bidoof. Stop it from doing anything, right? Let's see what we do hit as Ian here. Actually, I think you're trying to like, you're probably trying to like kill a doof with like Cram. Seems good. Maybe. But it looks like Ian just passed, and Reagan goes attach retreat in the tomb. Okay. I mean, sure, that works, I guess. I guess the line for Ian there would have actually been you put the Bidoof in the active. The Bidoof's ability doesn't block it, doesn't protect itself anymore, and you go knock a Bidoof, knock out for Jabax, but he whiffed. But I guess this works too, because if Reagan doesn't draw cards, then Reagan loses. There's absolutely nothing going on in this hand for Reagan. Yeah. And now this is where Ian capitalizes. Like no cards left in deck, but you should just be able to grab whatever you need off this Pokegear. Yeah. I mean, Avery being played here. Ooh, that's interesting. Leaves the Bidoof in play. Has to leave the Excalibur in play as well. And what, do we just spit here? Spit doesn't feel bad, you just like follow it up with the Sableye. VIP top deck for Reagan. Yeah. Gonna have to be a pass back, I think. There's nothing else to it. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna see the rod, we're gonna see the gates, we're gonna see the attached retreats, and that's gonna kill that. Then rest on backs, and then yeah, I think Reagan just loses now. Unless Reagan just hits the nut draw, but no, I don't think that's the nut draw. So I think we are just going to have to go to the game free here. Yeah, so I mean that's the comeback for Ian, right? Stop Reagan from playing cards, and you win. Just go check the deck. Make sure he's not missing anything. Kill the backs. Don't know why we're still playing as Reagan here. Yep, that's going to be a scoop, and we are going to go to game free. So good comeback for Ian. Well played. I don't know what else he would have really done differently as Reagan in that case. It was kind of just to flock off the Roxanne. I guess like you could have tried to go like double Bidoof down. Jesus Christ, which is exactly what we're gonna do here. Bidoof hand, Chien-Pao active, VIP double nest. Yeah, just go for it. But 8 minutes left on the clock. This game will most likely not finish, but we'll see. Both players are, very, very, very good. They'll probably play very fast. We're seeing Reagan doing exactly that, at least. I'm assuming both players do want this win. They don't want this tie. Tying doesn't put anyone out of like top 8 contention. Neither does losing, really, but still the tie would be better. You might have a gentleman's, I don't know. Regardless, though, we're going to see a concealing cards. Nest Ball for Comfy, Pokegear for Colorless. For Ian here, seems fine to me. Seems pretty okay. Yeah, what now? We are eyeing up this Colorless, can't see what's in it. Can't even see what we're getting rid of. Judges should probably make sure the players know what is actually available on the camera. Of course, we know it's a path being down because we can see the green box being a stadium. And then there is going to be the Abyss Seeking, very risky from Ian. Yeah, Reagan is just going to sit here and pop off for a bit, it seems. do the Chien-Pao thing where you just have everything. Is an Irida in hand as well? That'd be crazy. Nope, doesn't seem to be the case. It's gonna have to be the concealed cards. Hook up first. Wow, I'm tired. Concealed cards. There's the Irida. And yeah, I mean, think we're just gonna punch the Tina for much damage. That's gonna have to be the line. 4 minutes left on the clock. Reagan's still in a position where he can win this game. Ian, probably not so much playing for the tie. Still though, I don't take Ian for the tie lowers pace of play, but probably not trying to play fast for the sake of playing fast as Ian here seems like a mistake. Yeah. Let's see it though. Still can't catch what's getting hit off the Colorless. He has Psychic Energy, that's for sure. Sealed cards. Flower selecting. Alright, what do we got here? VIP. Nope, still can't catch it. We're at 6. What are we digging for as Ian? Cram, I guess? Cram's fine, yeah. You cram, there's 2 minutes left on the clock. I think as Ian here, you just don't ever, put down another 2-prizer. That energy came from where? Shivery Chills, right? Concealed cards. Really, I think as Reagan here, you're probably just saying, like, you probably shouldn't even, like, be trying to, yeah, you shouldn't even be trying to do other stuff. I think you're just trying to just attack as fast as possible. I don't think you win without Stabilize, so I think Investing was necessary wants to win. That's fair. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Well, it's going to be the Conceal or the Greninja set up for Ian, but with, 40 seconds left on the clock. We're still playing, but this game is probably just going to end in a tie. 20 minutes, so 20 seconds left. Ian, surely has the clock awareness to not bench Tina here, and that is going to be time. Time's going to be called, and yeah, that's going to be it. Okay. So, going to be a tie between the two of them. All right. We have about 15 minutes left. No, that's it for today. I need to leave some content for tomorrow. So chat, thank you guys so much for stopping by today. It's been a blast. Tomorrow we're going to continue with a raw review of the Knoxville Regional Championships. And it's going to be a good time. It's going to be fun. We're going to do the same thing we did today. Just kind of fuck around and watch some Pokemon. Have a good time. I am going to go feed myself because I am fucking starving. Although I don't think I have any food in the house, so I guess it's time for the grocery store. But that's besides the point, right? There's a bunch of buttons down below in the description, about area, whatever you want to call it. You just click them. They're cool. They do fun stuff. Yeah, I offer coaching on Medify. I don't think I plugged that enough. I offer coaching on Medify, except Medify hasn't accepted me yet because they're lame. So, yeah, if you are interested in coaching, you can go check me out on Twitter. Shoot me a DM at me. DM me on Twitter, on fucking Twitch, whatever. I really don't care. You can even email me for all that matters, right? That aside, that's going to be it for today, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow for just about the exact same thing we did today. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. We're going to learn. We're going to watch some Pokemon games. So, yeah, I hope you guys will be there for that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.